already seen a long time ago, dude. We seen that leaked footage, man, of like when Sony was testing out their SSD technology shit with Spider-Man. Y'all remember that shit, right? That video got leaked.
Yeah.
Like way back in like fucking after E3 there.
Yeah, 85 years ago. Yeah, I remember.
Yep.
We're live, guys. By the way, we're live. We're live a little early because I wanted to do a test, but we're live. We just gonna play some gameplay and talk. Look, I know you guys don't, for whatever reason, you guys don't actually like watching gamers play games, but that's what my channel was built on. That's why you guys found that reason to subscribe. So please, just bear with me, okay? We gotta do some stuff.
Yeah, Sam, did you see that Microsoft today? They came out and announced fucking like more games on the GP, but on top of that, they also incorporated perk system now.
Oh, what are you saying? You cut out.
This is fucking Microsoft today, right? They came out and they announced fucking like more games PC and fucking in consoles for Game Pass, but they also announced a perk system.
Oh, let's take a look at that. All right. So it's
Sam,
a new PC like Game Pass incentive.
You got
Yeah. It's like it's for both. It's for both. Yeah, like as long as like you're an Ultimate member or whatever you want to call it, like you can get access to like.
If you don't look at this game, Sam, somebody's gonna smack you in the face with a tool, and we don't want that. Okay.
With a tool. What kind of tool? A wrench? A hammer?
A nail clipper. That's all I have.
How is that a tool?
It is a tool. It's a tool for your nails.
Colombian torture.
No.
Goobity goo.
Now, if you would have said drill or something like that, then that would definitely leave a permanent mark.
It's like GTA 5.
Yeah.
Foot division.
Fuck GTA 5, by the way.
Why?
Yeah, I trolled people with a video yesterday.
I'm sick of that game, dude.
We're not gonna get another one anytime soon, right?
What do you think about that
rumor? Yeah.
The pop-in in this game is horrible.
What are you playing?
Sword of Mana. I mean, Trials of Mana. Combat is good. Yeah, it's probably a fucking pass, even though I'm gonna buy this day one.
Trials of Mana is cute. That's all you need to know, J-Tech. Nobody respect these games.
No, man, what are you talking about there, fucking Sam? We can't play fucking games that have that kind of graphics, man. It's against fucking adult fucking laws.
Oh, I love games with graphics like this.
I mean, it's just like...
A lot of ponies think otherwise.
Yeah, no, it's still, you grew up playing games like this.
I'm not your traditional pony. I started with Nintendo.
That's true.
You know.
That's very, very true.
It's not even that, bro. If you're a real gamer, you started at a point where games didn't look realistic all the time. Like, let's be honest.
Amen to that, J-Tech. Amen to fucking that. What are you saying, Sam?
No, I mean, growing up, Final Fantasy was just this. Big-headed midgets, except you were on the side, you know, waiting your turn to do an attack.
Yeah.
Oh, it got a special attack.
It's an evolved version.
Oh, there's no reason why games should look like this, man. 6 T-flops, though, the most powerful console on the market. Really, dude? Really?
It's more
I just want to know how many games are going to get delayed, or like what are the physical stocks going to look like for some of the physical games. I'm happy I did digital this year. You know, I don't know why, but I just something
digital
told me
for
to
life.
make all my games digital, and I'm glad I did. Okay, this game is dope and all, but let's not play this right now.
42 minutes.
I see you, Wraith, and competitive. Kingmatic Beats, everybody's in here, man.
What's going on, everybody? What's going on?
Don P said Jason's trying to kill the hype. What do you say now?
Oh, y'all want to talk about my boy Jace Schry? Okay, so what we gonna do? We got the sound.
I saw his prediction.
What was his prediction? Was it about his fucking glasses falling off his fucking?
No. He said his prediction for like this little video thing, whatever you want to call it, is like going to be very, very dry and cut. Like you're not going to really see anything new outside from like backwards compatibility and shit like that. Well, he didn't say specifically backwards compatibility.
Well, if he has a prediction, he don't know shit because he has not tried. No, he hasn't tried.
I know. He's been right before, dude.
No. Those weren't predictions. No, those weren't predictions. Those were leaks. You gotta know the difference between his predictions and leaks. When he has sources about something, then he can give that information and dress it up as a prediction, and then
I could have sworn we all have our own fake sources though.
But that motherfucker's sources panned out though with the Horizon shit.
Right?
It sounds.
It seems like Kotaku is all about
no way
negative
he
shit
has
now,
sources dude. With an internal, project like this today, bro. There's no fucking way. No way. There's no way. Even if you look at your own way, there's no way, man.
Kotaku's website, man, definitely seems to be more of a negative gaming site than anything before, dude. With a clashing?
Yeah.
Clashing?
The fuck is that?
They were more feisty, I could swear, dude.
We're gonna fight.
Yeah.
Like Michael McWhorter.
They've gone through so many different changes, though, over the course of this generation, dude. 1 minute they're talking about games, next thing you know, they're talking about fucking French fries in fucking Japan, how they can kill you at McDonald's and shit. What the fuck are you doing, Kotaku?
Nah, they were on that 360 shit last show. Now they're trying to play neutral, but you can see them. They're, they always show.
Bro, they always go back
Xbox
and favor
here and there.
Xbox. Yep, that's them. That's what they do. They do that shit.
They were blatant about it last night because they're winning so much at one point.
It's all right.
Ever since that whole entire bullshit of the fucking Gamergate shit that happened this generation, that's when Kotaku went downhill.
They're just trying to push agendas now, especially Schreier.
Yeah, man. Hey, Schreier said that this is his prediction. Horizon will be the first of many. I do believe that, not because he said it, but because, come on, it's obvious. You're not going to stop at one. You only eat one.
Dude, like I said, Dreams will eventually make its way over there. That would be a perfect fitting for that type of game. And everything else.
Look, I didn't want to agree. I love Dreams, but if Dreams is to survive, then yeah. But that's only after their 10-year, their little 10-year shit is up. As of right now, it's I think whether Dreams look like it's doing good or not, they've invested so much, they don't want to fucking stop that. You put that shit on PC, you're not really getting your investment back. There's no way you get your investment back. Like I said, I hate that PC fans act like they need Dreams to make games. They have so many different applications to make games. They
need to look into putting that on phones and tablets, not just the PC. That's just a different animal altogether.
Put it somewhere else where it's hard to make games. Cell phones, tablets, even a Switch. But putting that shit on PC seems kind of pointless to me.
What?
Yeah, it seems pointless.
Nah.
No, I'm saying, would you use that or would you use all the other applications you use to recreate video games anyway?
The thing is, the way I'm looking at it, it's
applications for, dude. Mobile is pretty simple to make applications for, dude.
It'd be like a Photoshop. You would just be on every PC, every phone, whatever. That's what I'm looking at it as.
Yep. Yep.
It's like Adobe Illustrator. They can make a lot of bank on that.
Yo, Jason.
Hell yeah, they would.
What's up, man?
No doubt.
What else, Spartan?
Jason's trying his feelings already. Did you see it?
I'm looking through my images because I'm supposed to send an image to my fucking computer, but I don't know what image I was supposed to send to my email.
How you doing, Spartan?
About that.
I'm good.
What was the image? I don't know what the image was. I'm lost.
He has a tweet saying that the thing of basically what's going to be going on today, how the PlayStation ship would be. He says it's going to be boring. It's going to be dry technical.
Well, it is Mark Cerny.
And then he said the number of GPU teraflops would make PlayStation console warrior sad.
Okay.
I actually believe.
Who said this? Schreier?
Jason Schreier, yeah.
He said it just like that.
He's bitter, bro. What's up, Sick Humor? I see Jamar Lay. What's going on, Raymond? What's going on?
He's so
competitive. I see all you.
Mad, but Wyatt got that exclusive with PS5. Ever since the PS4 Pro came out, and Kotaku got it wrong with everything, he been bitter over that.
Let me ask you a question, bro. He don't talk a lot on Twitter, so I have another Twitter account.
Again?
If I go view that shit, it'll be the top.
It should be because
I know he don't talk a lot. Because I wanna have a proper screenshot because this is the guy that talks a lot, and he claims that he's right about a lot. If he's wrong about this, bro, I'm going to fucking dig into him.
J-Tech, he did it today, March 18th.
I got it. I got it 2 hours ago.
Yeah, 8:44.
He is bitter, bro. That's saltiness right there.
And look at the second console right under it.
But as I've been saying for a while, to normal people, the ones who don't have PS4 slogans in their Twitter bios or spend all day arguing about flops on Resta, which no PlayStation gamer I know does that dumb shit. Both consoles will be powerful and impressive in ways that matter for the max GPU speeds. So what is like he doesn't understand.
What he's saying is that since other places like other forums get all the attention and leaks and not Kotaku, he's saying that both consoles would be powerful, which they will be, but he don't want to say the PlayStation 5 would be weaker because he know people are going to come for him.
Exactly, but he already said it.
He knows what he's doing. He knows what he's doing.
In the first post, he said it's going to be weaker. What did he say?
His last post, he said he had no idea what the teraflops are.
Yeah, that was the one I saw yesterday.
Mm-hmm. Like, let me see if I can find that shit. Elaborate a bit.
He's been talking a lot. God damn.
So he's walking that tightrope.
March 17th. I don't know how many teraflops LOL the PlayStation 5 has, but this is a sentiment I've heard for several tech-minded folks. One told me it was the most exciting hardware in 20 years. Will be fascinating to see how it stacks up against the impressive Xbox Series X specs.
Hey, Sick, if you don't mind, I'll be hopping back and forth if you don't mind, bro. I hop on my shit, I'll be hopping on yours. I'll be bouncing back and forth.
Yo, J-Tech, that don't sound right, bro.
Nah, sorry. I'll be on his podcast. I'll be on my podcast. Cause I wanna we're gonna talk about all this stuff too. I see my boy Thrash is over there too.
Marlon Gaming is already
Thrash, man, the man.
What's going on, Andrew Wilkins? My boy Andrew.
Sup, Andrew?
PlayStation greatness got blocked. What's going on, man? I don't know who you are, but what's going on?
Today is going to be an interesting day, Spartan.
So he says that if the Diller says if the PS5 is more powerful, he will take the L. Though the GitHub leak was 100% accurate, why would he tweet something like that? He will only tweet something like that if he has no confidence in what he's been spewing out the last 3 months. And that's what I believe.
Got the Xbox One X. Only thing they got right on the GitHub leak was the amount of teraflops it had.
And it was something else. It was something else.
It was 56 CUs. Because I know, for example, they kept saying 56 for Xbox. In total, with 60 and then 4 disabled. And that the clock speed of it was on like 1700 megahertz.
No, that's not the one. I sent it to Sam. Okay, so what he did get right? He got the teraflops right, which was 12.1, but they just came out and said 12. And then he did get the 52 active CUs. That was right because the specs, right? It says, where did it say the active CUs? It says 12 teraflops, 52 CUs, and that's Microsoft's official spec. So he didn't release a lot of specs on this, and I'm talking about Tom Fisher. But he did get those two things right. The teraflops and how many CUs it has. But the PS5 has the same amount of CUs. The only difference is 1 teraflop higher. Which, look, if they're supposed to be similar, which was, everybody thought it was going to be at least even with 12, Xbox fans were like, no, they're not 12. They're much, much lower. Okay, well, if they're even and they're up by 1, the rumors are still kind of accurate that they were going to be even in power. But it's all about the developers you have that's going to bring out that power. And they don't have any developers competent that use that power and show it off. Look what Naughty Dog has did with less teraflops than the Xbox One X. Look at what fucking Sony Santa Monica has done. Look at what Sucker Punch is about to do with Ghost of Tsushima. Look at what Square Enix is about to do, using only the PS4 to make Final Fantasy VII.
Yo, that title screen for this demo was fucking what?
Which one?
Early 3.
What time we got? How much time we got? We got 30 minutes. I hate playing scary games, man. I really don't. I'm not a big fan of that shit.
No, we got everybody.
Stop being a pussy.
I don't like scary games, man. You give me nightmares.
Oh, you still get that?
Hey, yo, Joe, can you do me a favor, girl, man? Can you fucking like lay down and spread your fucking legs, please?
Goobity goo. Let me play a little bit of this demo. Let me see if it's
I'm gonna goobity goo all over her fucking tits in a minute, man. What?
Oh, Six is on his Discord too. Okay. Now I'll see people today saying today we're gonna see who are frauds, who are the real insiders. I'm like,
look. First of all, I never said I'm the insider. I give the information that I have. Fuck that shit. If I see the information and it's facts, it's facts. However, none of this information has been confirmed. That's why I'm excited about today. Whether it's weaker or stronger, we will get real numbers. All I've been seeing, but see, the Xbox fans have been looking at these sources or claiming they have sources and claiming that it's confirmed. That's what they say. The numbers are confirmed. So they can't take it back. I don't want to hear, oh, I'm going to take an L. No, motherfucker. You take more than a fucking L. Way more than that. Like, you were 100% wrong. And not for like a week or something, for days. What's going on? Oh, bro, we got to stop playing the demo. PlayStation just went live, they say.
It did.
Yes, it's 11:30. Something going on over there.
I find it funny how...
I'm glad we said we were going to start at 11:30, but we started at 11:15. Guys, we're going to keep track of PlayStation. I'm going to turn the volume up a little bit on PlayStation, lower mine down, and then I'm going to turn up. I'm going to also lower down the chats so we can keep track. But hopefully we don't have any
Capcom.
Yeah, hopefully we don't have no copyrighted shit on this shit. So
you know what's funny? I said to people like every fanboy will get it. PlayStation, Xbox today, based off how it is, man. Like I'm just gonna keep it real with you.
And then I'm gonna turn up. Let me see. My audio is loud. I don't know why mine's louder than yours. Let me yeah. Why did somebody tell me like my last chat? Hey, your audio's low. No, my audio is perfect.
I said to Xbox dudes, since power don't matter, if it's confirmed more powerful, don't say shit. And I said to PlayStation dudes, y'all better hope it is 13 teraflops because y'all gonna be looking spooky because y'all was the one saying power don't matter. But when all these rumors are coming out,
oh, I know power don't matter, bro. We've been weaker than Xbox for over 2 years now, and we still have the best games. You know,
that's what I'm saying. I'm like. So
I'm
if y'all have the best games, don't worry about that
but
power.
I want it to be 13, not because of power. I wanted to be 13 to prove people wrong that kept saying it was weaker. I don't care about the power. I care about people being wrong.
I don't want it to be 13, I'll be honest with you. Why? Because when Sony chases that power crown, usually, when Sony chases power, it's expensive, and they don't give a fuck.
The only time that they chase the power crown was this gen, right? And you don't think of it as like super powerful. It's only 1 terabyte. 1 teraflop more. It's still around the same amount, right? So they're not really chasing it. Chasing it will be like 16 teraflops, 18 teraflops. But you're only like 1.3 higher than the competitor or 1.2 higher than the competitor. I don't see that as chasing. It's pretty much even. It's the same. Remember the same shit that happened with the PS4 and the Xbox One? The originals, right? Mm-hmm. They said they were going to be similar. And if the PS4 is 13, that's still similar to Xbox. Mm-hmm. But they had something special about their system that brought out way more power and allowed them to do everything they wanted to do. And even when it came to the third-party developers, they were able to do more than the Xbox One.
You mean PS4, right?
Yeah, the classic PS4 and the classic original Xbox One.
I mean, the PS4 had more bandwidth, more CUs. The clock speed was lower, but
but remember when we got the reveal and we headed into E3 after E3, all the analysts, all the technicians and the spec fanboys, they all said it was, it was pretty much similar to, Xbox. They were pretty much on the same page. You're not going to see that much of a difference. Then we started seeing games 1080p on PlayStation, 720p on Xbox. I'm like, something ain't right here. I mean, those are the things I'm hearing. I'm hearing that they're going to be on the same page. They're going to be, pretty much the same type of specs. Then I'm hearing, okay, well, they're going to be 13. But if they're 13, that's still not higher. That's still not like a whole bunch higher than fucking 12. That's like 1. You know what I'm saying? Like, that ain't shit.
Yeah,
again, it's up to the devs, though. It's up to the devs to bring out that power. It's not going to be the power that we see on paper. It's going to be the devs and what they can do with whatever they are given. Shit is about to get crazy, bro.
I remember when that guy Tiddock said that that the difference would be less than a teraflop, and then you had the rumors of the 11.6. I'm like, whoa.
Bro, they got 69,000 people waiting to watch this shit.
Of course, because everybody wants to fucking know. Like, literally, every time Xbox news came out,
so this is what we gotta do. We got time. I got my screenshot already from that. Where do I go to Xbox on YouTube to get the video that they posted with the specs? Because that's what I want to do. I see they changed their logo to the black and white Xbox.
Yeah, I've noticed that. What did?
No, they think they think they on their shit. That's what they did it for. They think they on their shit. That's the only reason why they did it.
But it's not the first time.
Oh yeah, this is not the.
I mean, the original, the OG Xbox One was just black, like everything wrapped in the green, like before 360.
I know, man. Look, they copying off a play. I'm on.
I could have swore PS3 was all that black shit.
I mean, every PlayStation system had a black system.
No, I mean like
PlayStation 1, the dev PlayStation 1 was black. PS2, PS3, PS4, PS Vita, PSP.
Damn, everybody live? The fuck?
Everybody live, motherfucker.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 channels right now is live.
Are we clicking on the Xbox Series X loaded times? Or will we want to go all the way back to Xbox Series X reveal? Because I want to compare likes and then I want to compare views.
Bro.
Why?
Because I just think it's funny. I want to fuck with people.
Why? Why not?
God damn.
Why not, bro? It's the console war. Shit.
No, well, it's not a war, really. It's just...
Nah, you know what I'm talking about, man.
Yeah, I know what you mean. But, like, fuck with people, usually it gets fun after a while, but it gets, like, feel like, why?
What is this? This is the 4th month? No, this is the 3rd month. Fucking.
But, yeah, you should do the console, the reveal at the Game Awards. That's the most... That's the one
I want to go after.
Because
well, you remember when Last of Us got that gameplay reveal, it shitted on everything that Xbox had done that year, like in views and engagement. Like
shit, I know that shit had to hurt feelings because niggas
was sit the fuck down, bitch.
Ago, the world premiere. Okay, so 3 months ago, the world premiere is sitting at 10 million views, 284 likes. Okay, 248,000 likes, right? Okay, so we're gonna go.
Damn, uncompetitive is tripping, bro.
What are you saying?
Look at what he just typed in the chat, like that.
Bro, y'all doing super chats? I ain't getting no notification. What the fuck?
Jason Troy, I already think is really heated because he's getting overlooked. Because
Kotaku, Trial by Fire. I apologize for not reading that super chat. Let me read that super chat real quick and then fix up my notifications. Jason Schreier continues to play into the console war, but bashes it at the same time. He predicts the PS4 to be lower teraflops and PlayStation fanboys to be mad. How does that help stop the console war he hates? You're right, man.
Yeah, the last part. He hates it, so he still does it.
Yep, he still does it.
We heard a rumor about some new disc format for Blu-ray that holds, like, I think 130 gigs. y'all think? Because one person was on Marlin Gaming Channel and was like, talking about that, like that game's going to be well over 100 gigabytes, and Sony's going to bring a new disc format to gaming.
Well, I don't know.
I don't believe.
Yeah, I mean, they're gonna definitely use 4K Blu-ray player, some type, maybe their own.
Damn, everybody loves this.
It looks like my super chat's on, but it doesn't have a sound. You know what, guys?
Yeah, people aren't even into gaming covering this show, dude.
Yeah, bro. Look, that's what I'm saying. Next gen starts when Sony says it starts. No disrespect to Xbox fans, but come on, look at Xbox did everything. Look at all that they did. Look at everything that they did. Plus, everybody is home. Most people are home. Most people are home today. Or home right now. From school, from work.
I gotta go to work still, but I was supposed to go earlier.
My motherfucking job is...
Nah, I was supposed to go from 10:30. I'm not going into 3. I don't feel like going. I didn't feel like going. So
look, man, all I'm gonna say, if the PC fans come knocking at your door, just pretend like you're not there, because they're gonna come after you specifically.
Yeah, they're already.
Because they hate the fact that we're gonna have power. It's not the fact that, hey, this console's more powerful than the next console. No, these consoles are more powerful than my friends' PCs. That's what people need to think about.
Yeah, that Xbox Series X is burning them literally. When them full specs came out, I was like, oh, nigga, y'all a PC. It's not like y'all can't upgrade y'all shit.
The thing is, most of these motherfuckers don't got money to upgrade. Exactly. You hear about these motherfuckers not wanting to buy a game day one. They don't want to pre-order. Oh, I don't want to buy another console for the exclusives. You can't pay $200 to $300 for another console. Man, they broke. They broke. Most of them rely on Christmas money and birthday money. That's it.
Oh, shit.
They are broke. They're little ass kids.
There's one thing I can't say about you, J-Tech. You talk a lot, but you dead ass buy and play games.
There you go.
Bro, because I see you buy almost damn near every damn PlayStation game.
Hell yeah, man.
I look at your PlayStation right now and I just see games. I'll be like, damn, bro. He'd be like, I'm going to have this. I might not get this until this time and then still get it before you said.
There you go. You already know how it is. I got all the demos
like that too.
I got Resident Evil 3, the single player demo, the multiplayer demo, Disaster Report demo, Trials of Mana demo, and then like I said, because I got that 8 terabyte external hard drive, all the games I've ever wanted to keep, I kept, and now I got tons of fucking games available to me, like so many fucking games, man. I think I'm gonna relax a little bit this weekend because I gotta go see my nephew and my mom this weekend. So I think starting tomorrow, I'll be playing Sonic. Just to unwind, because I'm in that mood of just playing some classic games. Sonic? Like you got it. Like sometimes you just can't play serious games, realistic games all the time. You gotta have those games like that.
Oh shit!
We got 19 minutes, people.
People throwing in the chat. Oh,
what's going on?
Your last 2 comments.
Oh, he's not a fraud like some people really playing games out here. Yeah, man. Look, you already know. Y'all saw me beat the boss, the second boss in the second area for Neo while we were streaming about the PS5. While we were talking, OBJ and everybody talking, I was on Neo. I beat the second boss.
Yeah, he said he was about to start. He literally was playing the whole time yesterday.
Yep.
They're bringing back fucking Shadow Man?
Yeah, on the N64 shit. They're
bringing that back as a remaster? Yo, fucking copping that bitch.
Remaster or remake?
I think it might be a remaster, yeah.
That was the shit, though, bro. That was the shit.
There's 7 channels I'm sub to that's live right now. I'm like,
that's the heart of PlayStation, my guy.
I think that's what Sony wanted, bro. Because every time Xbox just came out, people just talked about PlayStation, and I think that rubbed Microsoft the wrong way. Because once Sony pulls that shit, you don't see no Microsoft.
You know what? This is also proving the fact too as well, fucking as to why Sony doesn't have to have a press conference.
Right, and that's funny because what Microsoft did something that Sony does. They got hyped talking about, look, Microsoft just dreamt on a random Monday that the Xbox Series X is 12 teraflops and all the spec shit.
Yeah,
Which
and
I'm
they got that
just
game
saying-
stack shit today too as
which
well,
I'm
man.
just
After
saying,
this event
All I'm
too.
gonna say right now, I'm gonna let you know this dude named Persona, not Persona, this dude named Furtanga. Sorry, I mixed up the names. Furtanga is a PC guy.
No, he is not, bro. That nigga's a fraud.
I know he's a fraud, but he caps for PC. I already debated this guy. He could not tell me a brand new game when I debated him. I think it was like 2 years ago. He could not tell me a new exclusive. I shit it all on that guy. Look, I'm a gamer, so if you gonna debate me, it's gonna be about games, bro, and anything pertaining to games. So, if you know anything about this guy, he takes like weeks, almost close to months, to create one video about one individual. This dude thought it was smart to drop a video about me today. Today, of all days. Like, anybody's gonna watch that fucking video. Bro, that shit's about to be fucking funny. Look, PC fans are scared of those fucking specs. I'm telling you, man. They scared of them specs.
Reba Uncompetitive said his last comment.
Spartan God, it is easy to predict Microsoft when they just copy Apple all the time. Hey, man, that's fucking true.
He's speaking the truth.
Is it? Is it so uncompetitive? Did you know that that Microsoft today announced perks for Game Pass Ultimate?
You mean like Apple Arcade? Wow.
Get him, Fatal.
That was quick. Perks for Game Pass. Bro,
Hey, man. Hey. Is Sick still in the chat? If Sick is still in the chat, I'm trying to impress him, dude.
He's gonna impress him with Game Pass.
Fatal.
Nah, because Sick believes that I'm like this like fucking go-to person for like Game Pass and shit.
I think so. But why not?
I'm not gonna lie, it's a good value, but like we just agreed a day ago, I don't think their bigger games need to always be on Game Pass. I don't think that's smart.
Well, fucking, I'm knowing that I'm definitely downloading Ace Combat tomorrow.
Doobity Duke.
Coobity fuck.
Okay, so I'm gonna make sure everybody know we're live. Let's turn down some of the audio for us and turn down the audio up for the Elgato, which will capture the audio from here. We'll make sure it's at 30.
On the real, I see Xbox channels going live now. I'm like,
let me ask you a question, bro. Is fucking Dealer live?
Let's find out.
Because they went live last night and they were just in damage control. They didn't even talk about the PS4 to the end.
Okay,
I don't sub to Dilla, but me and Dilla have no issues. But I'm not sub to him. But no, he's not live. He last streamed 13.
Yeah, I don't got no problem with the dude, but he came at me sideways, so I had to block him permanently, bro. Like
I don't like any of the Xbox fucking channels, dude.
That's one.
I don't follow any of the Xbox
know Kid
channels.
Smooth got on both systems. He did it this gen. You know,
Yeah.
I got respect for him. He might be the best bot, but I got a lot of respect for him because, bro, he ain't no fraud when it comes to playing games, even if he suck at them.
Kid Smooth is not no goddamn best bot, dude.
I don't know what that means. I just call him that. That's his
Best
name.
spot means like he's the most Xbox fanboy, really.
Yeah.
But people like Smooth, literally. He's not like Dilla in them. Like he will damage
Yeah,
control.
no, Smooth. I can tolerate Smooth, but everybody else, like Colt and all that crap of that, I wish that they wouldn't fucking talk about the Xbox all period to give the goddamn system a bad name.
No issues with me and them. So never. I just think like what they did to J-Dub last year, but they're getting him his Twitter taken down this year.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, man.
Yep.
Look, I told OBJ, I told a lot of people in the DMs when they got their shit like temporarily suspended for a couple of hours or whatever. I was like, y'all want to know why I don't get suspended? Because I blocked everybody that fucking hate me. The people that hate you that you don't block, those are the people sending reports to get your shit taken down. I wouldn't be surprised if certain people's Twitters get suspended today that are PlayStation fans. I would not be surprised.
Oh, make this non-channels. Zaires love. Damn. Damn.
Of course, Zaire going live.
But it's the same thing he did yesterday, so I think that's a premiere. But same title. I think at this point that people just hate PlayStation just because people know it. Like, and I actually think people hate PlayStation, like for real. Like me, I don't hate the Xbox itself. I hate the company behind it because of shit they do. And I could say the word hate because it's personally affected me in life, personal wise and business wise. So that's why I hate Microsoft. I don't love
PlayStation's out here saving lives, Spartan.
Okay, what you mean? Say like how? You mean like
Oh, shit.
people gaming instead of in the streets? Okay, every
I don't know.
company
I'm
has
just
done
talking
that.
shit, dude. I don't
I'm about to
fucking know.
say
I'm just
every
talking
company
shit.
has done that. Like,
Nah, bro. Look, you know, I came from Baltimore. You know, I was in Baltimore County first. I moved to the city, bro. If it wasn't for Nintendo, you know, like with the handhelds that I would play instead of being out on the streets, bro. Like, who
that's a
knows
fact.
if I would still be here,
Oh,
you know?
careful talking about fucking Nintendo around Spartan, bro.
Nah, because I can even say that same shit, bro. If it wasn't for gaming, bro, like I was never a street kid, but even though I do my shit, but like if it wasn't for gaming, I probably would have been outside all the
I
fucking
think
time.
a lot of people gonna appreciate games more now that they're stuck in a fucking house with this virus.
Nah, look, bro, 75% gaming has risen since the coronavirus, and it's been since March 8th.
Damn, bro.
75%.
That's crazy. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I read that too, and I was
But
like,
wait,
huh.
that's across the whole world, not just the US. I was like, bro, do you know how much gaming that
Gaming is the cure of the corona,
I was
man.
wondering why the game sales were so low, bro. They want people to buy games while they're in the fucking house.
Digital about to skyrocket. Like right now, Europe.
I
and
know
like
I
Asia,
heard some real good news, Spartan. Monster
about
Hunter World is free on PlayStation Plus this
Yes,
week
That's an error.
in Japan.
That's an error on
What?
no,
Japan.
no, in
Yeah,
Japan,
yeah,
that's
it's an
correct.
error.
Well, they took
No,
advantage
America
of that
is
shit.
correct.
You know
America,
they did.
no, they getting it, Fatal.
Yeah, they
Japan
getting
still.
that shit.
Oh,
And guess what?
Cool.
It
Yo,
makes
the
sense.
niggas,
You got to give games away. I mean, think about it, bro. You stuck in the
Japan got
house.
Sonic.
You don't got no money. You already spent it on toilet paper and fucking bread. And look, maybe some of these companies will give games away to us. You know, we definitely got the demo.
Hey, man.
We got 10 minutes.
Okay,
Yo,
guys, we got 10 minutes.
just playing a little tiny bit of that demo to kill some time while I'm waiting for this countdown to go.
Nah, fucking
Oh, I
shit,
can't
bro.
wait.
No,
I can't
bro,
fucking
can't
wait.
Why
believe
does
it.
why does my timer keep saying fucking 19 minutes? Why?
Bro,
Why
where we
did,
want-
It glitches out. Mine said 56 minutes there a minute ago, then it dropped back down to 9.
hold on, bro. Let me go back to
YouTube is just fucking retarded, dude.
Y'all
Yeah,
wonder-
that's what I'm saying, man. It can't
Yeah, I think
be
that's
me,
it.
man.
I wonder what Nintendo is thinking right now.
Bro,
Because
they
they're probably
like,
fucking
we
too busy
don't know what we gonna
laughing.
fucking do. That's what they thinking.
Honestly, Spartan, like Nintendo is not
8 minutes.
giving
We
a
got 8 minutes, everybody.
Nah, because they did a direct yesterday and I didn't even
Indie
know
Direct.
it. Nobody talked about it.
Indie Direct.
So what? But it's
You
still
know
a direct.
what, bro? I am
They've
gonna
done it
change the
before.
audio back down to 20 because again, I don't know what third party devs they're gonna have, and I'd rather not the 20. We're gonna change it back down to 40, because third party devs, they will copyright your shit, bro. I got a little bit of history lesson for you guys. I premiered the first 2 Batman Arkham games on my Pyro account. One was on the Pyro account, one was on JTech, and I got copyright strike on both of them.
Y'all be right back, man.
Yeah, like, bro, they do not fuck around when it comes to copyright content. But the audio will be there, and depending on what we're seeing, hopefully it's not from third-party devs, I will turn the Elgato audio up so you can hear it. But our setup right now, nobody can claim that we're like stealing a video or we're trying to distribute it or any way like that. We're just trying to get that information out and talk about it. So that's what we're doing.
Yeah, and you guys won't be able to hear me anyways during this event because I'm going to be having my headset plugged into my controller.
Yeah.
So
That'll be good. You might hear me scream, so I might turn my
damn, Sam, that sounded like a negative thing. Yeah, okay, that's good. I'm like, damn, Jay, shit.
No, I'm just saying that's good because we don't want to hear you talk about Game Pass when we
I know.
listen to a Spec.
Hey, man, Game Pass for fucking life, my brother. Shit, that shit's a lifesaver, dude. I'm telling you.
Guys, we 7 minutes, people. Oh shit, I can't wait. I'm so excited.
Yeah, as soon as it hits the 2-minute mark, man, that's when I'm unplugging my mic, man.
Bro, I can't fucking wait, man. Call it weight can.
See, now today I can go full pony today.
Yeah, there's no other
Is there
way
any
to be,
chance we
man.
see Herman
You gotta
Hulse on
go
the stage?
full pony today.
Fuck it, man. I'm going full fucking pony today, bro. I don't give a fuck.
Damn.
But Jay, if Herman Holtz is on the stage, you're gonna go ape shit, right?
Yeah, he is.
I'm
Don't
gonna
even
boo the
lie to
fuck
us.
out of that dude, bro. Like, boo! Boo that motherfucker. Get him off the stage, bro. Get
You're
him
gonna kill
out of
the
here.
good vibes.
Huh?
He can't hide forever, man. He's gonna have to come out one of these
He
times.
said some stuff
Take the
about the
heat.
PS5 today, but
I wouldn't worry about Hunter.
I just don't want.
Relax.
I don't want to see him, bro. He got a bad reception. That's gonna sour the grapes, bro. I think people are more excited to see Mark Cerny than him, bro. Like, I do not want that dude on the stage. Like, that's a bad taste in everybody's mouth right now. He need to go away for at least 2-3 more months, man. Or if he announced PlayStation All Stars, I forgive him, man. Dead serious.
They're not doing this on Twitch. Where
You
are
and a small,
they
tiny fan base want that shit.
You said what happened, Sam?
Where are they airing this?
YouTube. I put the link in the
YouTube?
Discord. I got all the links in all the Discords. And I put it on Twitter too. So if anybody wants the link, you can ask me for the link. I got the link. So just ask me for the link. I can provide that to you guys. Let me go get that real quick. I'm gonna put it in the chat real quick. I know everybody is streaming, and I know we're not gonna probably hit the views that we hit yesterday, because we were like the only people live that time. But I appreciate all the people that are here. Again, I know there's tons of people streaming. I'm not gonna tell you guys to not go over there, but we will cover it on our way. We got Sam here. We got Fatal, me, Spartan God. Adam, I already asked Adam personally. I was like, bro, I really need you here to break this shit down. Adam said he will come here if he's available at that time. So hopefully he can make it here before I have to leave for work. So
literally everybody else is streaming this?
That's what I heard. Of course. You already fucking knew that was going to happen though, bro.
Got another dono, by the way.
Okay. It just went through. A Trial by Fire. Hope people remember this will be the highly technical. This isn't games reveal. Idiots still complain about the PlayStation meeting tech conference. I do believe it's going to be technical, but I don't think you need 52 minutes to break down the text. You can still break down that.
Well, with Mark Cerny and how slow he talks, yeah, you're going to need.
Yeah,
he enjoys talking
all
about
I'm
that
saying
stuff.
is I do expect games to be shown off with the tech. See, you can talk about the tech, but you can talk about the tech and show how that relates to games. And I definitely believe he understands, and PlayStation understands how important that is. We have to see how it makes a game work. We saw that with Xbox.
I'm expecting to see Spider-Man up in that bitch. God of War, or whatever the case.
We might see Spider-Man. Might see God of War. Might be Last of Us, Ghost. They got a huge library of games that they could show off for different tech aspects of today's meeting.
7, 8, 9, 10
What we
channels.
looking at, bro? We looking at 3 minutes?
Yeah, 3 minutes and some seconds.
Let me go.
Spartan, did I sense a little bit of excitement in your voice there?
No, I was yawning.
Yeah. Yeah, cover that up, big man. Cover that up, buddy.
No, literally, I was dead ass yawning just now.
He yawning because he looked at the Xbox conference. Yeah.
No,
ouch! Ouch!
Remember I told you I don't be sleeping, bro. I woke up mad early today, and I've been up so.
Dude, I've been up since fucking 5 o'clock this morning, dude.
And it's every day. It has nothing to do with PlayStation. I'll be like, I just get up because you get up, you gotta start your day, leave on and all that.
Yeah, same here, dude. Same here, yeah.
Damn,
My
you
boy,
got
bro. I need to get. I don't know. Is what's his name? Jabari, is Jabari live on anybody podcast, bro?
No,
Jabari's live somewhere, dude. He's around.
Jabari going live later.
He going live later. Maybe we can get him on here, bro. Cause this shit was.
Yeah, I gotta find him.
Yeah, I got him on Twitter. Let me send him an invite real quick.
He's on your Discord.
I'm going on mute.
He's already on my Discord?
Yeah.
Yeah, Dela is in Ryan's comment section. He said 10. 10 teraflops.
Don't phrase it now. Did you get that screenshot? Can you get that screenshot for me?
Sure.
God damn, that dude trying to raise that shit. God damn, bro.
RGT podcast. Watch this. I'm going to go
All
with
you
10.
gotta fucking do, stick with one number. You said 9. You was so
What you
sure
want
it was gonna be 9, man.
Want it in Discord?
No, I'm talking about dealer, bro.
No, I'm saying, where you want the screenshot at?
Oh, Discord. Yeah, send that on Discord.
DM or just in a regular chat?
Just send it to the chat so everybody can see that shit. My boy Jabari going wild, bro.
Nah, that Jason Schreier shit got niggas in their feelings. They like, oh, well, it don't matter now. You see, same PlayStation dudes on his comments like, well, PlayStation. Oh, it matters with games anyway. You look what they did with 1.8 teraflop. I'm like, well, yeah, you don't have to tell him that. He knows. He just trying to bait y'all.
Everybody hyped about PlayStation. We got 1 minute left. Oh no, we got no minutes.
No.
They say it's starting shortly. Okay,
No,
bro. Y'all ready? Let's do this. Let's do this, man. I don't think I've been this excited since like E3 2016 or some shit. Bro, it's been a while, bro. And God of War, when God of War got shown off, that nigga came out of the shadows, bro. Damn.
I haven't been this excited since Jason Schreier proved you wrong.
Fuck that dude, bro.
Where the fuck is your live stream go, bro?
Where did my live stream go?
Yeah, like, I would just, like, oh, here it is. Damn, you been laughing.
Yeah, I started a little early because the preview wasn't there. I was wondering what the fuck was wrong, so I said, let me go live and just test it out.
Like, I just want people just to wait, because that teraflop shit is going to get y'all fucked up if y'all say, oh, 12 is 12.
Oh, I'm not sure about nothing. I just wanted to be higher than 9 so people can look wrong. Anybody that was saying fucking 9.
I would just wait. I just want to see the CPU upgrade, and I've been saying this for the last 2 years.
Okay, it's starting, guys. We got 2 minutes now. We got a real countdown.
Oh, PlayStation is there. Oh, wait, I'm subbed to PlayStation? Yo, I'm not subbed to PlayStation and got a notification.
Bro, shit is going down. It's going down now. We call it down patch.
Fatal. They sent notification. There's 297 people, 1,000 people watching that.
Bro.
Oh. Wait, no, 323,000. Damn.
Bro, it's about to get real.
If
y'all are not subscribed, you're going to want to subscribe. I'm going to visit my family Saturday, so we're not doing a gaming podcast this weekend.
44K now.
But I will be back for the Sunday show to talk about this stuff. We're going to have a lot of stuff to unpack today and tomorrow and Friday.
Bro, it's almost 500,000 people watching this shit.
Bro, shit is getting real.
What the fuck, bro? Like, niggas said Xbox soft tweaked out. Xbox all the power.
Bro, it's about to get real. If y'all are not subscribed,
Metal Gear Solid 6, 9:30 p.m. in India. I'm like, bro, these motherfuckers are not playing. People gotta chill.
It's about to go down, people. It's about to go down.
It's pre-recorded though. I know.
I know, but I don't give a fuck. 30 seconds on the dot and counting down.
Well, you on their channel, right?
Yeah.
That's where you going freedom from?
I mean, if you want to watch it through my channel, you can watch it. I'm going to up their audio in a little bit.
I'm on their channel right now. I'm just looking at how much people was there.
Oh, yeah, it's a lot, bro. It's a lot.
Over 300,000. I'm like, goddamn. What?
Okay, so
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Why they come with this
about to be crazy, bro? I'm so fucking excited.
Oh, there we go. What the fuck? Bro said we canceling this shit. Yo, this nigga asshole.
I like his hairstyle, bro. He changed his hairstyle. People kept bitching about it.
Bro, whole asshole for that. The goals.
Oh, shit. Let me turn this audio up, guys. We got to turn our audio down.
Oh, wait. They go to Generations.
Hello?
through PlayStation 3. A powerful and groundbreaking console, but also one that caused quite a lot of heartache, as it was initially difficult to develop games for. So,
My boy Mark Cerny.
we've taken a
Bro mentioned PS3 too many times.
The first of these is listening to the developers, which is to say that a lot of what we put into a console derives directly from the needs and aspirations of the game creators. We definitely do have some ideas of our own, but at the core of our philosophy for designing consoles is that
It's
gameplay
boring already, bro.
It is gonna be boring, but I'm glad we can get this fucking info.
Nah, because I know everything he's gonna talk about. All the technology shit I know, so it's boring to me because I know it already.
Realize their dreams, we will do. So, about once every 2 years, I take a tour of the industry. I go to the various developers and publishers, sit down, and discuss how they're doing with the current consoles and what they'd like to see in future consoles.
Boring.
But the good thing is, my boy Mark Cerny, he's a higher position than a lot of people give him credit for, you know? Like, this is the dude that's making our hardware over the last 3 gens.
By the way, the feature most requested by the developers, that was an SSD, which we were very happy to put in the hardware, but a lot of problem solving was required. I'll be doing a deep dive on the SSD and surrounding systems later on.
Well, you know what? What I like about this is he's doing the deep dive. They could have gave it to like Digital Foundry, but I'm glad they didn't. Because see, Digital Foundry's all on Microsoft.
Wait, what did he just say?
Now, with PlayStation 1,
he said he's gonna do a deep dive into SSD, but not right now.
With a brand new feature set. That was great in many ways, but time for the developers to get up and running got longer with each console. In the past, I've called this time to triangle. Here's what I had for those 3 consoles. To be clear, I'm not talking about time to make a game. Developers will be ambitious, and it may take them 6 years or so to realize their vision. What I'm talking about is that dead time before graphics and other aspects of game development are up and running, and trying to minimize that. On the other hand, if we're trying to reduce that dead time to 0, that means the hardware architecture can't change at all.
Yo, there's 574,000 people watching that shit.
What value it adds, and whether it's worth the increase in development time needed to support it.
That's a lot.
So with PlayStation 4, we were able to strike a pretty good balance between performance and familiarity. We got required learning
1 to
back
2
to
months.
PlayStation 1.
Okay, PS4.
With PS5, the GPU was definitely the area we felt the most tension between adding new features and keeping a
I
familiar.
ain't gonna lie. I like the black and blue.
Ultimately, I think we ended up with something
That's what the
under a
console should
month
be.
of
Black and blue.
Black and blue.
That
Yep.
feels like we're striking
Keep
about
that
the right
blue,
balance.
man.
Oh,
Don't
I'll
lose
go
less
into
than
a
month.
bit more detail
Less than
later
1 month.
today about our philosophy with the GPU
Damn.
and the specific
That's
feature
good
set that
shit.
resulted
That's
from it.
fast.
It's also
Somebody
very
said he
important
sounds
for
like a
us as
villain
the
on
hardware team
Fucking
to
Dead.
find new dreams, by which I mean something
I don't
other
give a
than
fuck.
CPU
That's
performance,
the PlayStation
GPU
villain. He coming for the
and
neck.
amount of RAM.
Yeah, because
Increasing
he
graphics
dead, dude.
performance over the
Sound
past
like
2
one.
decades has been astonishing, but there are other areas in which we can innovate
Now
and provide
graphics, wow.
significant value to the game creators, and through them, the players. That's why the SSD was very much on our
Okay,
list
he
of
said
directions
other
to
areas to
explore,
innovate.
regardless of what came out of the conversations with game developers and publishers.
Shit, that's fast.
The biggest feature in this category is
Somebody
the
said
custom
he sounds
engine
like a
for audio.
villain.
That's
I'm
today's
fucking
final
dead.
topic. The push for vastly
Okay,
improved audio.
guys, can you hear him?
3D audio isn't something
Kinda.
that came out of the development
On my stream,
much more the
because
case
if
that
not,
we
I need to turn the
dreamed of what
Elgato
might
back
be
up.
possible.
Yeah,
5 years
I
from
can
now.
hear him on
And then worked out a
PlayStation
number of
because I'm
steps we
on
could
this
take
shit
to
right
set
now.
us on that path.
Turn the audio.
So here again are
Like,
the
well
3
louder than him.
principles. The first being enabling the desires of developers to drive the hardware design. To me, the SSD really is the key to the next
Trial by
generation.
Fire, where
It's
did you
a
hear
game changer. And it was the
10.5?
number
Because
one
I heard
ask
you
from
say
developers for
10.5.
PlayStation 5.
Is that like
As
a
in,
yes, or
we know
do
it's
you get that
probably impossible,
information
but
somewhere?
can you put an SSD in?
Probably got it from him.
That was a discussion we were also having internally. It was clear that the presence of a hard drive in every PlayStation 4 was having a positive impact. A lot of things that would simply have been impossible at Blu-ray disc speeds were now
Okay, so
possible.
I changed the audio.
At the same time, though, in 2015 and 2016, when we were having these conversations,
There's
developers were
630,000
already
people
banging
watching
up against the limits of the hard drive. And a lot
I
of
see a lot of
developer
Z's
time
in
was
the
being
comment
spent
section,
designing
though.
around
Oh,
slow
I know,
load
because
speeds.
they see anything that they talk about.
I want
is
to
boring.
focus
It don't
in on
matter.
just one number
talk
here,
about specs
which is
and they
how
show a
long
single
it
fucking
takes to
game and they
load
all
a
right with that.
gigabyte of data from a hard
But
drive.
then they show
The
you.
difficulty being that hard drives are neither particularly fast nor flexible. If all your data is in one block, which is frankly not very likely, you can load 50 to 100 megabytes a second, depending on where the data is located on the hard drive. Let's assume it's on the outer edge, which means loading a gigabyte takes 10 seconds. If you compress your game packages, you can fit more data on the Blu-ray disc and also effectively boost your hard drive read speed by the compression ratio. We support
why we get all
zlib
these
decompression on
third-party games
PlayStation
that are
4
fucking
that gets you
100 gigs.
something like 50% more data on the
Like, the
disc
Nintendo
and
does a good
50%
job with
higher
that.
effective
The
read
only
speed.
game we're getting that's 100
Unfortunately,
gig that we know
though,
needs
it's
to be is
highly
Last of
likely
Us.
that your data is scattered around in
That's the only
various
game I
files on the
think we've
hard
ever
drive,
got that's
as well as
exclusive is
sourced
100
from
gig.
multiple locations within those files. So lots of seeks
Bro,
are
I see a
needed
lot
at
of them
2
talk about
to
the PS4 a
50-ish
lot, damn.
milliseconds each.
Yeah,
My
because they
rule of
have to get
thumb
this
is that the hard
information
drive
out
is
for
spending
people that's
2/3
not
of
as
its time
educated
seeking,
as you
and only
when it comes
a
to
third
specs.
of its
So
time
they gotta
actually
teach
loading
everybody
data.
about specs.
Putting all of
And
that together,
it's
a
sad, it's a
gigabyte is
little
very
boring,
roughly
but
20
you gotta
seconds
make sure
to
people are
load
up to
from a
speed
hard
with
drive.
info.
Now we got
Now, a gigabyte
651,000.
is not much data. Games are using 5 or 6 gigabytes of RAM on PlayStation 4, so boot times and load times can get pretty grim. Or to put that differently, as a player, you wait for the game to boot, wait for the game to load, wait for the level to reload every time you die, and you wait for what is euphemistically called fast travel. And all of that leads to the dream. What if we could have not just an SSD, but a blindingly fast SSD? If we could
Here we
load
go. We
5
talking about that
gigabytes
fast
a second
SSD for
from
the
it,
PS5.
what would change?
At least.
Now, SSDs are completely different from hard drives. They don't have seeks as such. If you have
Well, he
a
better
5
show an
gigabyte a second
example of that
SSD,
shit.
you can
5
read data
gigabytes.
from 1,000 different locations in that second, pretty much at speed.
Wait,
As for
that's
time to
that's
load a
faster than the
gigabyte, this is
Xbox
next gen
SSD,
we're
but,
talking about, so memory
we
is
already
bigger.
knew that.
Instead, we should be
It says
asking how
target,
long to
but it says
load
target
2
though, like,
gigabytes.
that's what they
And
plan
the
to do,
answer
like.
is about a quarter of a second. I mean, that's amazing. We're talking
quarter of a
2
second.
orders of magnitude, meaning very
Oh,
roughly
damn, like,
100 times
2
faster.
gigabytes in 0.20 seconds.
Which means
that
at
means
5
it's way
gigabytes a
faster.
second for the
Shit, that's more
SSD, the
than
potential
twice
is that
fast.
the game boots in a second. There are no load screens. The game just fades down while loading a half dozen gigabytes and fades back up again. Same for a reload. You're immediately back in the action after you die. And fast travel becomes so fast it's blink and you miss it. As game creators, we go from trying to distract the player from how
This,
long fast
Xbox
travel is
wins.
taking, like those Spider-Man subway rides, to being so blindingly fast
When it
that you
comes to
might even
energy,
have to
hell
slow
yeah,
that
of course they
transition
did,
down.
because all they did was
Pretty
watch.
cool, right? But for me, this is not the primary reason to change from a hard drive to an SSD. The primary reason for an ultra-fast SSD is that it gives the game designer freedom. Or to put that differently, with a hard drive, the 20 seconds that it takes to load a gigabyte can sabotage the game that the developer is trying to create. I think almost all of us in the room have experienced this, maybe in different ways. Say we're making an adventure game and we have 2 rich environments where we each want enough textures and models to fill memory.
You're not
Which you
trying
can
to show what it
do
looks
as long
like.
as you have a long staircase or elevator ride or a windy corridor where you can ditch the old assets and then take 30 seconds or so to load the new assets. Having a 30-second elevator ride is
J-Tech.
a little extreme. More realistically,
many
we'd
comments have
probably
been
chop
typed
the
in a
world
section so
into
far
a number
already?
of smaller pieces and then do some calculations with
I'm not
sight
sure.
lines and run speeds
23,000.
like we did for
that's
Haven City when we were making
Wait,
Jack 2.
25,000.
The game is 20 years old,
Damn.
but not much has changed since then. All those
Jack 2?
twisty
Oh,
passages
wait a
are there
minute.
for a reason. There's a whole subset of level design dedicated to this sort of work, but still, it's a
Wait,
giant
Jack and
distraction
Daxter
for a
2, I
team
see.
that just wants to make their game. So when I talked about the dream of an SSD, part of the reason for that 5 gigabyte a second target was to eliminate loads, but also part of
can
the
we get
reason
another
for that
Jack and Daxter
target
game, though?
streaming. As in, what if the SSD is so fast that as the player is turning around, it's possible to load textures for everything behind the player in that split second? If you figure that it takes half a second to turn, that's 4 gigabytes of compressed data you can load. That sounds about right
30,000.
for next gen. Anyway, back to the hard drive. Another strategy for increasing effective read speed is to make big sequential chunks of data. For example, we might group all the data together for each city block. That removes most of the seeks, and the streaming gets faster. But there's a downside too, which is that frequently used data is included in many chunks and therefore is on the hard drive many, many times. Marvel's Spider-Man uses this strategy, and though it works very well for increasing the streaming speed, there's a massive duplication as a result. Some of the objects like mailboxes or news racks are on the hard drive 400 times. What I'm describing here are things that cramp a creative director's style. Either level design gets a little bit boring in places, or the data is duplicated so many times that it no longer fits on the Blu-ray disc. And you end up with hard limits on the player's run speed or driving speed. The player can't go faster than the load speed from the hard drive. And finally, I'm sure many of you have noticed that after a patch download, a PlayStation 4 will sometimes take a long time to install the patch. That's because when just part of a file has been changed, the new data can be downloaded pretty quickly. But before the game boots up, a brand new file...
Yeah, it said 10.28.
Yeah. That's still good enough for Sony, bro. I knew it wasn't going to be fucking 9.
Even so, you can occasionally see this happening on game titles. They start to hitch once they get patched enough.
Twitter?
With an SSD, though, no seeks, so no need to make brand new files with the changes incorporated into them, which means no installs as you know them today.
Do you need the link? I can post a link.
There's yet one more benefit, which is that system memory can be used much more efficiently. On PlayStation 4, game data on the hard drive feels very distant and difficult to use. By the time you realize you need a piece of data, it's much too late to go out and load it. So system memory has to contain all of the data that can be used in the next 30 seconds or so of gameplay. That means a lot of the 8 gigabytes of system memory is idle. It's just waiting there to be potentially
so it's 3.5.
On PlayStation 5, though, the SSD is very close to being like more RAM. Typically, it's fast enough that when you realize you need a piece of data, you can just load it from the SSD and use it. There's no need to have lots of data parked in system memory waiting to potentially be used. A different way of saying that is that most of RAM is working on the game's behalf. This is one of the reasons that 16 gigabytes of GDDR6 feels right for PlayStation 5. The presence of the SSD reduces the need for a massive intergenerational increase in size. So, back to the dream of the SSD. Here's the set of targets. Boot the game in a second. No load screens. Design freedom, meaning no twisty passages or long corridors. More game on the disk and more game on the SSD. And finally, those patch installs go away. The reality, though, is that the SSD is just one piece of the puzzle. There's a lot of places where bottlenecks can occur in between the SSD and the game code that uses the data. You can see this on PlayStation 4. If I use an SSD with 10 times the speed of a standard hard drive, I probably see only double the loading speed. If that. For PlayStation 5, our goal was not just that the SSD itself be 100 times faster. It was that game loads and streaming would be 100 times faster. So every single potential bottleneck needed to be addressed. And there are a lot of them.
It seems that
let's look at check-in and what happens when its overhead gets 100 times larger. Conceptually, check-in is a pretty simple process. Data is loaded into system memory from the hard drive or SSD. It's examined. A few values are tweaked to check it in, and then it's moved to its final location. At the SSD speeds we're talking about, that last part, moving the data, meaning copying it from one location to another, takes roughly an entire next-gen CPU core. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. If all the overheads get 100 times larger, that will cripple the frame rate as soon as the player moves, and that massive stream of data starts coming off the SSD. So to solve all of that, we built a lot of custom hardware, namely a custom flash controller and a number of custom units in our main chip. The flash controller in the SSD was designed for smooth and bottleneck-free operation, but also with games in mind. For example, there are 6 levels of priority when reading from the SSD. Priority is very important. You can imagine the player heading into some new location in the world and the game requesting a few gigabytes of textures. And while those textures are being loaded, an enemy is shot and has to
Well, since
speak
I know
a
this
few
thing,
dying
now,
words.
I wanna know, do I
Having
have the
multiple
specs?
priority levels lets the audio
wanna
for
know
those
if I have the
dying
specs
words
for
get
the,
loaded immediately. On one
the
side, that
Xbox.
flash controller connects to the actual flash dies that supply
'Cause I
the
know I
storage.
got the specs
To
for,
reach our bandwidth target of 5 gigabytes
all
a
of the
second,
other
we ended
shit.
up with a
I sent it to
12-channel
Sam, though.
interface.
That's what I
8
think I
channels
did.
wouldn't be enough.
Yeah, I
The
sent
resulting
it to Sam.
bandwidth we have achieved is actually 5.5 gigabytes a second. With a 12-channel interface, the most natural size that emerges for an SSD is 825 gigabytes. The key question for us was, is that enough? I mean, it's tempting to add more, but Flash certainly doesn't come cheap, and we have a responsibility to our gaming audience to be cost-effective with regards to what we put in the console. Ultimately, we resolved this question by looking at the play patterns of a broad range of gamers. We examined the specific games that they were playing over the course of a weekend or a week or a month, and whether that set of games would fit properly on the SSD. We were able to establish that the friction caused by reinstalls or re-downloads would be quite low, and so we locked in on that 825 gigabyte size, while also preparing multiple strategies so that those who want more storage can add it. I'll go through the details in a moment. Back to the flash controller. On the other side, it connects to our main custom chip via 4 lanes of Gen 4 PCIe. And inside the main custom chip is a pretty hefty unit dedicated to I/O. Before we talk about what that does, let's talk compression for a moment. PlayStation 4 used zlib as its compression format. We decided to use it again on PlayStation 5, but on my 2017 tour of developers, I learned about a new format called Kraken from Rad Game Tools. It's like zlib's smarter cousin. Simple, similar types of algorithms, but about 10% better compression, which is pretty big. That means 10% more game on the UHD Blu-ray disc or on the SSD. Kraken had only been out for a year, but it was already becoming a de facto industry standard. Half of the teams I talked to were either using it or getting ready to evaluate it. So we hustled and built a custom decompressor into the I/O unit, one capable of handling over 5 gigabytes of Kraken format input data
I feel
a second.
sorry. I apologize.
After
for all
decompression,
people that's not
that
gonna
typically
like
becomes
that.
8
I
or
can
9
understand why
gigabytes,
that's
but the
a
unit
bad
itself
thing and
is
all.
capable of
Me
outputting
personally,
as
and I
much
don't
as
mean to
22
disrespect
gigabytes
anybody,
a second
right?
if the data
I
happened
think
to
you guys
compress
all deserve to be
particularly
mad.
well.
But you want
By
a
the way,
cheaper
in terms
system,
of performance,
you can't ask
that
for, like,
custom
fucking 2
decompressor
tera-
equates to
2
9
terabytes,
of our Zen
right?
2 cores.
So
That's what it would
like I
take
said,
to
I was
decompress
looking
the Kraken
ahead,
stream with a
knowing
conventional
that this was
CPU.
going to be a possibility.
There's a
That's
lot
why I
more
got
in
an
the
8
custom
terabyte
I/O unit,
external hard
including
drive.
a dedicated
again,
DNA
I'm ready
controller.
for
The
next
game
year.
can direct
I already
exactly
have all the
where it
biggest
wants to
games
send the
paid
data
off.
coming off
I
of the
got
SSD.
the 8 terabyte
This equates to another
external hard drive.
Zen 2
I'm
core
ready.
or two in terms of its copy performance.
Let me see what
Its
else they
primary
got.
purpose is to remove check-in as a bottleneck.
DD hard drive
There's
support,
2
both
dedicated I/O
4K,
coprocessors and a large RAM
Blu-ray
pool.
drive.
These aren't
That's
Zen 2
good.
cores.
That's
They're
really
there
good.
principally to direct the variety of custom hardware
They got a
around them.
replaceable
One of the coprocessors is
hard
dedicated
drive
to
and a
SSD
PS4,
I/O.
but then they have
This lets
a
us bypass traditional file I/O and its bottlenecks when reading from the SSD. The other is responsible for memory mapping, which I know
hope we get
doesn't
to see
sound
what the
like
controller
anything
looks like
related to
today.
the SSD, but a lot of
Or
developers map
or
and
get
remap
a,
memory as part of
a
file
date
I/O,
of when we
and this
get to
too can
see
become
the
a
game.
bottleneck. There are
Let's say, look, he's
coherency
talking about
engines to
freaking
assist the
this could drop
coprocessors.
at any
Coherency
moment,
comes up a
depending
lot
on
in
workload.
places.
I'm like,
Probably the biggest coherency issue is stale data in the
3.5
GPU caches.
gigs. He said it's
Flushing
it
all
could
of the
drop.
GPU caches whenever the SSD is read
The
is
10
an
point-
unattractive option. It could really hurt the GPU performance.
And he
So
said that
we've
clock
implemented
speed
a
could drop
gentler way
based
of
off
doing things, where the coherency engines
heavy
inform
workload.
the GPU of the overwritten address ranges,
So
and
is
custom
it not
scrubbers in
10?
several dozen
What
GPU
the fuck is
caches
going on?
do pinpoint evictions
say,
of
man?
just those addresses.
He's saying that
The
in
best thing
cases of
is, as a
heavy
game
workloads,
developer,
right,
when you read from the
the clock
SSD,
speed
you
of
don't
the
need to know
GPU,
any
the
of this.
2.2
You don't even
gigahertz
need to
shit,
know that your
can
data is
drop
compressed.
significantly.
You just indicate what data you'd like to read from
And he
your
said
original
basically
uncompressed
it
file
uses a
and
boost
where you'd
clock.
like to put it. And the whole process of
setup.
loading it happens invisibly to you and at very high speed. Back to the Dream. Thanks to all of that surrounding hardware, our 5.5 gigabytes a second really should translate into something like 100 times faster I/O than PS4, and allow the dream of no load screen and super fast streaming to become a reality. Having said that, expandability of our SSD is going to be quite important. Flash is costly, and you may very well want to add storage to whatever we put in the console.
We're in 2020.
Now, the kind of storage you need depends on how you're going to use it. If you have an extensive PlayStation 4 library and you'd like to take advantage of backwards compatibility to play those games on PlayStation 5, then a large external hard drive is ideal. You can leave your games on the hard drive and play them directly from there, thus saving the pricier SSD storage for your PlayStation 5 titles, or you can copy your active PlayStation 4 titles to the SSD. If your purpose in adding more storage is to play PlayStation 5 titles, though, ideally you would add
They
to
use
your
AMD
SSD
Smart Shift
storage.
technology
We
to
will be
send any
supporting
unused
certain
power from the
M2 SSDs.
CPU to
These
the
are
GPU.
internal drives that you
So
can get on the open
these are
market
more
and
pixels. So
install in a
basically,
bay in the
They
PlayStation
use
5.
Infinity Fabric.
As for which ones we
They want to
support
call it
and
Smart
when,
Shift. That's
I'll get to
Infinity
that in a
Fabric,
moment.
bro. When
They
send
connect through the
unused
custom
power
I/O
from the
unit, just like
CPU to the
our
GPU,
SSD
which
does.
is also what
So
they did
they can
with
take
PS3.
full advantage of the decompression,
It's a
I/O
fascinating ideas
coprocessors,
and
and
Italian
all
arts
the
from
other
Microsoft
features I was
design
talking about.
decisions. Like,
Here's the catch, though.
So
That commercial
basically,
drive has to be at least as fast as ours. Games that rely on the speed of our SSD need to work flawlessly with any M2 drive.
could be over the
calm
place.
down.
When I gave the Wired interview last year, I said that the
me?
PlayStation 5
No,
SSD
Umar,
was
I respect
faster
you and
than
I thank you
anything
for all the
available on
support,
PC.
buddy, but I don't
At the
want you to
time,
disappoint
commercial
yourself or
M2
other
drives
fans.
used PCIe
So
3.0,
don't
and
go
4
all
lanes
crazy,
of that cap
man.
out
They're
at
not gonna
3.5
talk
gigabytes a
about
second.
backwards
In other
compatibility
words,
of the PS1
no
and the
PCIe
PS2
3.0
and
drive
PS3.
can
They're gonna
hit
make
the
sure that
required
the
spec.
system can run games
M2
for
drives
next
with
generation
PCIe
and the
4.0
current
are now out in the market. We're
like
getting
they
our
said, they want the system to be
samples and
cost
seeing
effective. If you want to start
4
paying
or 5
$600
gigabytes
for
a second
system,
from them.
you need
By
to make
year's
sure
end,
the
I expect
technology
there
in
will be
that
drives
system
that
can support
saturate
every
4.0
generation of the
and support
past.
7 gigabytes a second.
And I don't think they want
Having
to
said
make sure
that,
they waste
we
that
are
money that way.
comparing apples and oranges, though,
Again,
because
you're not gonna wanna
that
pay
commercial
$600 for the
M2 drive
system.
will
You
have
gotta
its own
understand
architecture,
what
its own
you're
flash
asking them to
controller,
put
and
into
so
it
on.
is gonna
For example,
cost.
the
If you're
NVMe
not
specification
prepared to pay
lays out a
Okay, so
priority
he
scheme
says
for
that
requests
the
that the M2
CPU
drives
and
can
GPU
use.
will always
And that
run
scheme
at a
is
max
pretty nice, but it
frequency.
only has 2 true priority levels. Our drives support 6. We can hook up a drive with only 2 priority levels, definitely, but our custom I/O unit has to arbitrate the extra priorities
those
rather
people
than the
real, they're just,
M2
like,
drive's
placement
flash
dummies that
controller.
he's talking to.
And so the
They're real
M2
people.
drive needs a little
yeah,
extra
yeah,
speed to take care of issues arising from a different approach.
Could be zombies.
That commercial drive
We
also
really
needs to
don't know.
physically
Bro, but like
fit
that one dude on the
inside of
left
the
has
bay
had his
we
head
created in
like tilted for
PlayStation
the whole
5 for
duration of the
M2
conference
drives.
over.
Unlike internal hard drives, there's
It's kind of like
unfortunately
one of
no
those
standard
videos you
for
do
the
when the
height
world
of an
ends
M2
and
drive,
they
and
make it
some
seem
M2
like
drives
people
have
were there,
giant
stuff like
heat
that.
sinks. In
You
fact,
know what's
some
funny?
of them
I
even
said
have
the
their own
Xbox
fans.
Series X would be more powerful.
Right
than the
now, we're
PS5.
getting M2 drive
So
samples
I'm
and
good,
benchmarking
but
them in various
niggas
ways.
already damage
When
controlled. I'm
games
like,
hit beta
why?
as they get ready for the PlayStation
Y'all should
5
have said
launch
shit in
at
the first
year end,
place.
we'll also be doing some
Oh, I'm
compatibility
cool,
don't even know what the
to make
fuck that
sure
picture
that the
means
architecture
anyway.
of particular M2 drives isn't too foreign for the games to handle. Once we've done that compatibility testing, we should be able to start letting you know which drives will physically fit and which drive samples have benchmarked appropriately high
He doesn't
in our
mention
testing.
variable rate
It would be
shading.
great if that happened by launch, but it's
And,
likely to be a bit past
does
it. So
deliver the
please
intersection
hold off
engine.
on getting that
Wait,
M2 drive
intersection
until
engine?
you hear from us.
That's the
Okay,
shit that
back to our
makes,
principles.
like,
Balancing evolution and revolution
that
is the
shit,
second
but-
of them. This was definitely a recurring theme with the GPU.
Take more stress off your GPU to
We
push
need
more.
new GPU features and capabilities.
One pixel
If
per
we only
render-
have more
render,
performance,
like-
it's not really a
like
new
5
generation of
pixels.
console.
That's
Of course,
kinda-
many of these capabilities result in more
He said
performance.
the
That's
rate
part of why a PlayStation 5 teraflop is more
and
powerful than a
this
PlayStation 4
implementation
teraflop.
has
But we
G-
aren't just looking for the performance. We also need the ability
But
to do something
825
with the GPU
gigabytes? Really?
that could not have been done
Is that
before.
after
And we need
like, I'm trying
higher
to think,
performance
installation,
per
or is it
watt.
just say 25
Every
or
time
something
we
like that?
double the
That's the
performance
whole
of some
fucking
GPU
story
component,
they're saying
we
here.
don't want to find out we've doubled the
So-
power consumed and the
25,
heat
that's
produced.
for that.
But at the same
What
time,
the-
we have to
you
make
have to get
sure the
Xbox
GPU can
Series
run
X
PS4
SSD
games,
at least, like,
and we have to ensure that
twice
the
as fast.
architecture
Like,
is
they
easy
say
for
it's
the
twice as
developers
fast,
to
you know.
adopt. Now,
based off those
backwards
numbers,
compatibility was handled
it is, but
masterfully
they
by
didn't
AMD.
do it.
They treated it as a key need throughout the
Did
design
do that.
process. As a
up,
solution
Umar.
to adding new
On
features
5
without
games, even
blindsiding
if it's 60
developers,
games, so
we made sure that
they
if
gotta-
there
they
were
gotta
new
show a game.
significant features, it would be
Games doing
optional
that shit.
to use use them. The GPU supports ray tracing, but you don't have to use ray tracing to make your game. The GPU supports primitive shaders, but you can release your first game on PlayStation 5 without breaking any user. Before I get into the capabilities of the GPU, I'd like to make clear 2 points that can be quite confusing. First, we have a custom AMD GPU based on their RDNA 2 technology. What does that mean? AMD is continuously improving and revising their tech. For RDNA 2, their goals were, roughly speaking, to reduce power consumption by re-architecting the GPU to put data close to where it's needed, to optimize the GPU for performance, and to add a new, more advanced feature set. But that feature set is malleable, which is to say that we have our own needs for PlayStation, and that can factor into what the AMD roadmap provides. So collaboration is born. If we bring concepts to AMD that are felt to be widely useful, then they can be adopted into RDNA 2 and used broadly, including in PC GPUs. If the ideas are sufficiently specific to what we're trying to accomplish, like the GPU cache scrubbers I was talking about, then they end up being just for us. If you see a similar discrete GPU available as a PC card at roughly the same time as we release our console, that means our collaboration with AMD succeeded in producing technology useful in both worlds. It doesn't mean that we as Sony simply incorporated the PC part into our console. This continuous improvement in AMD technology means it's dangerous to rely on teraflops as an absolute indicator of performance, and CU count should be avoided as well. In the case of CPUs, we all understand this. The PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5 each have 8 CPUs, but we never think that meant the capabilities and performance are equal. It's the same for CUs. For one thing, they've been getting much larger over time. Adding new features means adding lots of transistors. In fact, the transistor count for a PlayStation 5 CU is 62% larger than the transistor count for a PlayStation 4 CU. Second, the PlayStation 5 GPU is backwards compatible with PlayStation 4. What does that mean? One way you can achieve backwards compatibility is to put the previous console's chipset in the new console, like we did with some PlayStation 3s. But that's, of course, extremely expensive. A better way is to incorporate any differences in the previous console's logic into the new console's custom chips, meaning that even as the technology evolves, the logic and feature set that PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 4 Pro titles rely on is still available in backwards compatibility modes. One advantage of this strategy is that once backwards compatibility is in the console, it's in. It's not as if a cost down will remove backwards compatibility like it did on PlayStation 3. Achieving this unification of functionality took years of efforts by AMD, as any roadmap advancement creates a potential divergence in logic. Running PS4 and PS4 titles at boosted frequencies has also added complexity. The boost is truly massive this time around, and some game code just can't handle it. Testing has to be done on a title-by-title basis. Results are excellent, though. We recently took a look at the top 100 PlayStation 4 titles as ranked by playtime, and we're expecting almost all of them to be playable at launch on PlayStation 5. With regards to new features, as I said, our strategy was to try to break new ground, but at the same time not to require use of the new GPU capabilities. For more than a decade, GPUs have imposed a restriction on game engines. Software handles vertex processing, but for the most part, dedicated hardware is responsible for the triangles and other geometry that the vertices form. That means it's not possible to do even basic optimizations, such as aborting processing of a vertex if all geometry that uses it is off-screen. PlayStation 5 has a new unit called the Geometry Engine, which brings handling of triangles and other primitives under full programmatic control. As a game developer, you're free to ignore its existence and use the PlayStation 5 GPU as if it were no more capable than the PS4 GPU, or you can use this new intelligence in various ways. Simple usage could be performance optimization, such as removing backfaced or off-screen vertices and triangles. More complex usage involves something called primitive shaders, which allow the game to synthesize geometry on the fly as it's being rendered. It's a brand new capability. Using primitive shaders on PlayStation 5 will allow for a broad variety of techniques, including smoothly varying level of detail, addition of procedural detail to close-up objects, and improvements to particle effects and other visual special effects. Another major new feature of our custom RDNA 2-based GPU is ray tracing, using the same strategy as AMD's upcoming PC GPUs. The CUs contain a new specialized unit called the intersection engine, which can calculate the intersection of rays with boxes and triangles. To use the intersection engine, first you build what is called an acceleration structure. It's data in RAM that contains all of your geometry. There's a specific set of formats you can use. They're variations on the same BVH concept. Then, in your shader program, you use a new instruction that asks the intersection engine to check a ray against the BVH. While the intersection engine is processing the requested ray triangle or ray box intersections, the shaders are free to do other work. Having said that, the ray tracing instruction is pretty memory intensive, so it's a good mix with logic-heavy code. There's of course no need to use ray tracing. PS4 graphics engines will run just fine on PlayStation 5, but it presents an opportunity for those interested. I'm thinking it'll take less than 1 million rays a second to have a big impact on audio. That should be enough for audio occlusion and some reverb calculations. With a bit more of the GPU invested in ray tracing, it should be possible to do some very nice global illumination. Having said that, adding ray-traced shadows and reflections to a traditional graphics engine could easily take hundreds of millions of rays a second, and full ray tracing could take billions. How far can we go? I'm starting to get quite bullish. I've already seen a PlayStation 5 title that's successfully using ray tracing-based reflections in complex animated scenes with only modest costs. Another set of issues for the GPU involved size and frequency. How big do we make the GPU, and what frequency do we run it at? This is a balancing act. The chip has a cost, and there's a cost for whatever we use to supply that chip with power and to cool it. In general, I like running the GPU at higher frequency. Let me show you why. Here's 2 possible configurations for a GPU roughly of the level of the PlayStation 4 Pro. This is a thought experiment. Don't take these configurations too seriously. If you just calculate teraflops, you get the same number. But actually, the performance is noticeably different because teraflops is defined as the computational capability of the vector ALU. That's just one part of the GPU. There are a lot of other units. And those other units all run faster when the GPU frequency is higher. At 33% higher frequency, rasterization goes 33% faster. Processing the command buffer goes that much faster. The L2 and other caches have that much higher bandwidth, and so on. About the only downside is that system memory is 33% further away in terms of cycles. But the large number of benefits more than counterbalance that. As a friend of mine says, a rising tide lifts all boats. Also, it's easier to fully use 36 CUs in parallel than it is to fully use 48 CUs. When triangles are small, it's much harder to fill all those CUs with useful work. So there's a lot to be said for faster, assuming you can handle the resulting power and heat issues, which frankly, we haven't always done the best job at. Part of the reason for that is, historically, our process for setting CPU and GPU frequencies has relied on some heavy-duty guesswork with regards to how much electrical power games will consume and how much heat will be produced as a result inside of the console. Power consumption varies a lot from game to game. When I play God of War on my PS4 Pro, I know the power consumption is high just by the fan noise. But power isn't simply about engine quality. It's about the minutiae of what's being displayed and how. It's counterintuitive, but processing dense geometry typically consumes less power than processing simple geometry, which is, I suspect, why Horizon's map screen, with its low triangle count, makes my PS4 Pro heat up so much. Our process on previous consoles has been to try to guess what the maximum power consumption during the entire console lifetime might be, which is to say, the worst case scene in the worst case game, and prepare a cooling solution that we think will be quiet at that power level. If we get it right, fan noise is minimal. If we get it wrong, the console will be quite loud for the higher power games, and there's even a chance that it might overheat and shut down if we misestimate power too badly. PlayStation 5 is especially challenging because the CPU supports 256-bit native instructions that consume a lot of power. These are great here and there, but presumably only minimally used. Or are they? If we plan for major 256-bit instruction usage, we need to set the CPU clock substantially lower or noticeably increase the size of the power supply and fan. So, after much discussion, we decided to go with a very different direction on PlayStation 5. We built a GPU with 36 CUs. Mind you, RDNA 2 CUs are large. Each has 62% more transistors than the CUs we were using on PlayStation 4. So if we compare transistor counts, 36 RDNA 2 CUs equates to roughly 58 PlayStation 4 CUs. It is a fairly sizable GPU. Then we went with a variable frequency strategy for PlayStation 5, which is to say we continuously run the GPU and CPU in boost mode. We supply a generous amount of electrical power and then increase the frequency of GPU and CPU until they reach the capabilities of the system's cooling solution. It's a completely different paradigm. Rather than running at constant frequency and letting power vary based on the workload, we run at essentially constant power and let the frequency vary based on the workload. We then tackled the engineering challenge of a cost-effective and high-performance cooling solution designed for that specific power level. In some ways, it becomes a simpler problem because there are no more unknowns. There's no need to guess what power consumption the worst-case game might have. As for the details of the cooling solution, we're saving them for our teardown. I think you'll be quite happy with what the engineering team came up with. So, how fast can we run the GPU and CPU with this strategy? The simplest approach would be to look at the actual temperature of the silicon die and throttle the frequency on that basis. But that won't work. It fails to create a consistent PlayStation 5 experience. It wouldn't do to run a console slower simply because it was in a hot room. So, rather than look at the actual temperature of the silicon die, we look at the activities that the GPU and CPU are performing and set the frequencies on that basis, which makes everything deterministic and repeatable. While we're at it, we also use AMD's Smart Shift technology and send any unused power from the CPU to the GPU so it can squeeze out a few more pixels.
That's a big advantage.
The benefits of this strategy are quite large. Running a GPU at 2 gigahertz was looking like an unreachable target with the old fixed frequency strategy. With this new paradigm, we're able to run way over that. In fact, we have to cap the GPU frequency at 2.23 gigahertz so that we can guarantee that the on-chip logic operates.
That's irrelevant to me.
36 CUs at 2.23 gigahertz is 10.3 teraflops, and we expect the GPU to spend clock speed at or close to that frequency and performance. Similarly, running the CPU at 3 gigahertz was causing headaches with the old strategy. But now we can run it as high as 3.5 gigahertz. In fact, it spends most of its time at that frequency. That doesn't mean all games will be running at 2.23 gigahertz and 3.5 gigahertz. When that worst-case game arrives, it will run at a lower clock speed, but not too much lower. To reduce power by 10%, it only takes a couple of % reduction in frequency, so I'd expect any downclocking to be pretty minor. All things considered, the change to a variable frequency approach will show significant gains for PlayStation gamers. The final of our 3 principles was about finding new dreams. It's important for us on the hardware team to find new ways to expand or deepen gaming, and that's what led us to a focus on 3D audio. As players, we experience the game through the visuals, through audio, and through the feedback we receive from the controller, such as rumble or haptics. Personally, I feel a game is just dead without audio. Visuals are, of course, important, but the impact of audio is huge as well. At the same time, the audio team on a game project has to do a lot with a little. For example, on PlayStation 4, there's fierce competition for the Jaguar CPU cores. Audio typically ends up getting just a fraction of a core. That's not much of a computational resource, particularly when you consider that the visuals run at 30 or 60 frames a second, but audio processing needs to happen at almost 200 times a second. So, it's been tough going making forward progress on audio with PlayStation 4, particularly when PlayStation 3 was such a beast when it came to audio. The SPUs in Cell were almost a perfect device for audio rendering. Simple pipelined algorithms could really take advantage of asynchronous DMA and frequently reached 100% utilization of the floating point unit. There's unfortunately nothing comparable on PlayStation 4. Probably the most dramatic progress in the PlayStation 4 generation has been with virtual reality. The PSVR hardware has its own audio unit. It supports about 50 pretty decent 3D sound sources. And this provided a hint as to where we could go with audio, as well as some valuable experience. Not to oversimplify, but here were our goals for audio on PlayStation 5. The first goal was great audio for everyone, not just VR users or soundbar owners or headphone users. That meant audio had to be part of the console. It couldn't be a peripheral. The second goal was to support hundreds of sound sources. We didn't want developers to have to pick and choose what sounds would get 3D effects and which wouldn't. We wanted every sound in the game to have dimensionality. And finally, we wanted to really take on the challenges of presence and locality. Now, when we say presence, we mean the feeling that you're actually there. You've entered the matrix. It's not, of course, something we thought we could perfectly achieve, but the idea was that if we stopped using just a rain sound and instead used lots of 3D audio sources for raindrops hitting the ground at all sorts of locations around you, then at some point your brain would take a leap and you'd begin to have this feeling of real presence inside the virtual world of the game. This has the capacity to affect your appreciation of the game, just like music in a game does. The concept of locality is simpler. It's just your sense of where the audio is coming from. To the right of you, behind you, above you. This can immerse you further in the game, and it can also directly enhance the gameplay. To use Dead Space as an example, I know, old school. You're fighting enemies in fairly dark, spooky locations. Back in the day, if you played the game using the TV speakers, you could tell that there was one last enemy growling and hunting you down, but it was difficult to tell quite where that enemy was. With headphones, you could tell that the enemy was somewhere on the right, which let you deduce, if you couldn't see it, that it must be somewhere behind and to your right. But with 3D audio with good locality, the idea is you know the enemy is precisely there, and you turn, and you take it out.
No, they're saying it's not
So,
RDNA.
how do we know where a sound is coming from in the first place? Well, all those bumps and folds in the ear have a meaning, evolutionarily speaking. Based on what direction the sound is coming from, sound waves bounce around inside the ear, there's some constructive and destructive interference, and the result is a change in volume. The phase of the sound also shifts, depending on what path the sound wave took to reach the ear canal. These volume changes and phase shifts are different for each direction and also vary depending on the frequency of the sound. Head size and head shape also impact the sound in a similar fashion. The way that the sound changes, based on direction and frequency, can be encoded in a table called the Head-Related Transfer Function, or HRTF. Here's part of it. The vertical axis is the frequency, the horizontal axis is the direction, front, back, left, right, and the color gives the degree of attenuation of the sound at that frequency. The HRTF is as unique to an individual as a fingerprint is. In fact, you're looking at mine right now. Here's how we measure an HRTF. We've taken hundreds of people through this process. We put a microphone in the subject's left and right ear canals, and then sit the subject down in the middle of an array of 22 speakers. We then play an audio sweep from each speaker as we rotate the subject. In the course of 10 or 20 minutes, we're able to sample the HRTF at over 1,000 locations. Using an HRTF when rendering audio creates unparalleled quality, but it's computationally expensive. The simplest way to use an HRTF is to process a sound source to make it appear as if it's coming from one of those 1,000 locations we sample. Unfortunately, the processing has to be done in frequency domain rather than time domain, so there's multiple fast Fourier transforms needed for every sound source for every audio tick. That's a lot of multiplies. This computational complexity was the determining factor for our strategy. It meant we had to bite the bullet and design and build a custom hardware unit for 3D audio. Collectively, we're referring to the hardware unit and the proprietary algorithms we run on it as Tempest 3D Audio Tech. The meaning of 3D audio and technology should be pretty obvious here. As for Tempest, I feel it really reflects our goals with audio. It suggests a certain intensity of experience and also hints at your presence within it. We're calling the hardware
What
unit
else?
that we built the Tempest engine.
This,
It's based on
these
AMD's
frequency
GPU
shifts, that means
technology.
they're gonna
We
go up
modified
and
a
down. So
compute
most of the
unit in
time,
such
it's
a
not
way
gonna be
as to
10
make it
teraflops.
very
It could
close
be
to
less
the
than that.
SPUs in PlayStation
And
3.
the CPU can
Remember
also
when
be
I
less
said that
than
they
that.
were
So
ideal for audio? So
when
the
niggas
Tempest
say they're
engine
gonna have the
has
better
no
looking and
caches,
running
just
games
like
on
an SPU.
Xbox,
All
that
data
might be a
access
thing
is via
because of that
DMA,
CPU shit.
just like an
I really wanted
SPU.
to see the CPU of
Our
the
target was that it would have
PS5
more
really. I didn't care
power
about
than a
teraflops and shit.
CPU, thanks to the
But the
parallelism that a
CPU
GPU can
is
achieve, and that it would be
alright.
more
It is.
efficient than our GPU thanks to the
And he's
SPU-like
talking about shit
architecture.
is shifting
The
up
goal
and
being to
down
make
based off
possible
heat.
near 100%
So I'm like,
utilization
I
of
think
the
he was
CU's
Giving an
vector
example of
units.
the previous generation.
Where we
That's
ended
what
up
no,
is a
he's
unit
saying
with
that that's what's
roughly
going
the
to
same
happen. It's
SIMD
variable.
power and
He says
bandwidth as
variable
all 8
frequencies, meaning
Jaguar
that
cores in
they
the
will
PlayStation
change.
4
He
combined.
said literally they would
If we
that
were to
means
use the
it's
same
only gonna
algorithms
go
as
down, never go
PSVR,
up.
that's enough for something
No,
like
that means that
5,000 sound
the number he
sources.
gives you,
But of
like
course,
10,
we want
is
to
the
use
peak.
more complex
Like there's no
algorithms,
going
and we
above
don't
that,
need anything
but
like
it
that
will
number
drop
of sounds.
depending on heavy workloads.
It would have been
And he
wonderful
also
if a
said
simpler
that
strategy,
the
such as
CPU
using
3.5
Dolby
gigahertz,
Atmos
that's
peripherals, could have
locked.
achieved our goals, but we
But
wanted
it could drop
3D
below
audio
that
for
and run
all,
at lower
not just those with
frequencies.
licensed
That's what he said.
soundbars or the like. Also, we wanted many hundreds
That's
of
what
sound
was on that
sources, not just the
Eurogamer
32 that
article,
Atmos
and
supports.
the article was
And
based on
finally, we
everything
wanted
he
to be
said
able to throw
already.
an overwhelming amount of processing
Well, we
power at the
got
problem,
to see how
and it
this
wasn't
works for
clear what
games.
any peripheral might have
'Cause,
inside of it.
you know, my brain is
In fact,
racked
with
right
the
now
Tempest engine,
as
we
far as
even got
trying to
enough
process
power
this
that we can
information.
allocate some to the
I'm a
games,
gamer.
to the extent that
The
games
only
want
way
to make
I
use
know
of
how stuff
convolution
works is
reverb
playing
and other
games.
algorithms that are either
So I know
computationally
you're a
expensive
tech guy.
or
I
need
know
high bandwidth.
Eurogamer's tech.
And
But
I
the
played the game. I
primary
just
purpose of the
Spec,
Tempest
but,
engine
I
remains
mean,
3D
the
audio.
PS4 was worse
Now,
than this.
3D audio
And you
is a
saw what we
major
got out of it.
academic
So
research
I have-
topic.
I
It's
have
safe to
100%
say that
faith.
no one in
My
the
faith
world
ain't
has all of
wavering.
the answers.
I
Yeah.
And the set
can't
of
wait to see how the
algorithms that have
games
to
are
be
gonna work.
invented, tuned, or
That's what I
implemented
really.
to
He said he
realize
saw
our
a
vision for
game,
3D audio
PS5 game, a
is
PS5
immense.
game, fully
For
utilized
example,
in ray tracing.
use
And
of HRTFs in
I know
games
this
is
is
quite
for the
complex.
GBC conference, which
Before,
is
I talked
for
about making a sound source appear
Yeah,
as
I
if it's
think that
coming
I'm gonna
from
wait
one of
for
those 1,000
PlayStation. I'm not
HRTF
looking
sample
at
locations.
Eurogamer. I don't really
But for
care,
high
'cause
quality
they
3D
already
game
got the-
audio,
they already got
we
the
have to
numbers
handle
wrong
other
as far as the
possibilities.
teraflops, bro.
The sound
And I know
source
what you're
might not
saying,
be
hey,
at
it
one
can
of the
go
1,000
down,
HRTF
but the
sample
fact of the
locations,
matter,
so we have to
they got it
blend
wrong,
the
and I don't care
HRTF
about, like,
data
a
from the
fucking
closest
point.
locations that we
Yeah,
have
they got it
sampled.
wrong.
The sound source might be
people
moving,
accountable,
which needs
as well as
very special handling
anybody
as
else
that
that said
blend
it was
keeps
gonna be
changing,
9
and that can
teraflops
cause
on
phase
paper.
artifacts
That
in
means
the
it would have
resulting
been lower,
audio.
like what you're saying.
Or the
If it
sound
was
source
9,
might have a
it
size
could have
to it,
dropped
meaning
lower.
it should feel
That
as if
means
it's
it
coming
wouldn't
from
have
an
been
area
RDNA
rather
2.
than a single point.
So a lot of people
There's
look
also
stupid
whole
right now
categories
because
of
they
approaches
thought
to
that
be
the system
handled.
was gonna be too
3D
weak
audio can be
to
implemented
run
using
the
individual
RDNA
processing
2.
of 3D
That's
sound
what it all
sources.
comes down
But
to. Anybody
alternatively,
that
ambisonics
didn't
can be
like
used for 3D
PS5
audio.
or hate
Ambisonics being
PlayStation
somewhat like the
or
spherical
fake
harmonics
neutral or
used in
wants to go
computer
back home
graphics.
to the Xbox,
And finally, there's
those
audio devices.
individuals
The
stuck
player
with
might
this
be using
narrative that the
headphones or
system was
TV
gonna be so
speakers or
weak
have a
that it
higher-end
wouldn't be able
surround
to
sound
do
setup
the
with 6
RDNA
or more
2, and it
speakers,
seems like a
all of
lot
which
people
need
were
different
lying.
approaches.
But
That's
they
a lot of
gigahertz. It's over
variations.
2
It's nice
gigahertz
to
for
have
a
the
GPU.
computational resources of the
Like, that's
Tempest
actually
engine, but it's
pretty
clear that achieving our ultimate
impressive
goals with
because
3D audio
when you
is going to be a
combine that, like
multi-year,
doing the clock, like
step-by-step
in real time
process.
performance. If
Having
you got a
said that,
game
headphone
like
audio implementation is
NBA,
largely complete
right,
at this time.
on the
It was a
Xbox
natural place
Series
for us to
X
start. With
and the
headphones, we
PS5,
control
They already
exactly what
said
each ear
that
hears,
the
and therefore
craziest
the
thing, and this
algorithmic
is the guy
development
from
and
Digital
implementation are
Foundry.
more
He
straightforward.
said the craziest thing about the
For
PS5.
TV speakers and stereo speakers, we're
What
in
do
the
you say?
process of implementing
Hold on,
virtual
we about to go change our audio solution because I love you, Mark Cerny, but I don't really care. I got the meat of the information. I have it on paper.
So we can leave the stream now, right?
Oh,
There's like 4 minutes left anyway.
yeah, I'm leaving their stream. I'm not gonna stop streaming, but
Oh
yeah.
no, I've been.
Yeah, I'm about to leave their stream. I like guys, we have it on paper. We're gonna cover that on paper and cover all the information. So we're gonna go swap over to an image so we can see it on screen. I don't really want to use this one because this is what Digital Foundry said, but it has been confirmed by Mark Cerny himself that it's 10.3, not 10.2. But this is the information we got right now.
The fuck is the difference?
The difference is the difference, man. It's not. I'm not saying it's gonna be more powerful. I deal in facts, and even if it's something as small as a fucking point, you know what I'm saying? That's me. Yeah, that's just how I run my stuff. I didn't run around here talking about 13. I said we gotta wait and see if Sony's gonna what they're gonna say. What they said on the stream is different from what somebody leaked the information out that wasn't 100% accurate. So if that one thing ain't accurate, we don't know what other things can't be or are not accurate. Again,
So
Digital Foundry
Xbox-
is not the way I'm going to see if a game is running. I'm going to see if a game is running when I see that shit or when I'm playing it.
this price better be okay. I want to see.
5?
If it's no, literally, if this is $500, that's a problem. Cause I'm seeing Microsoft want to take a loss, and they will sell their shit at 500. They got to be less than 500 with this, especially the SSD. The fact that you can swap it out, that's a good thing because it comes in all different prices. Microsoft's proprietary, so they shit would be more expensive.
I'm gonna be honest, man.
That's a
I'm gonna be
plus.
100% honest.
Mhm.
If they didn't have the camera, Xbox would have been at $400, and it would have
That's a
been
fact.
a weaker system. So
Uh-huh.
I'm not gonna sit up here and say, "Hey, Sony,
Oh.
hey, Microsoft is doing this price. You need to be cheaper. You need to be cheaper because we want to find a reason to love you and brag about you." Nah, man. Again, at the end of the day, you talking to JTech TV. This is a guy that got the PS4 when everybody was too fucking uncomfortable to cap for that shit. Me, personally, I don't give a fuck about the price. I give a fuck about the games. Those systems, I would love them to be the same exact price. Because at that point in time, if you go out and buy the Xbox over the PlayStation, you're not buying it for the games because we know there's no games over there. You would be buying it for the power narrative. I want information to be 100% clear between all gamers in this fictional console war. Why they are going to the other side. Or why are they going back home? From what I'm seeing right now, it seems like they want to go back home or they want to go back the other side because of power. It's not the games. We know they're not going to have games, right? And whatever the price is, it really doesn't matter. But again, all of this will change. It's just like when the PS3 came out. PS3 came out, we had a recession. Everybody says, well, the PS3 didn't sell because it was 600. But you didn't look at what was happening in the United States for it not to sell. Again.
It actually was selling, by the way.
No, I know, but I'm just saying, in everybody else's eyes, they're like, hey, it was $600, it's a bad system. But if anybody was really bitching, it was like, hey, bro, you have money issues. People gonna have money issues this year. Again, so you gotta buy a $500 system because it has more power, or you gotta buy a $500 system because you know it's gonna have the games.
Okay, JTech, it's not fully BC with PS4. Like right now, you don't have.
No. I 100%. I heard everything he said. He said almost all.
That's bullshit. Microsoft has every game running. That's also a fuck up they gotta fix.
Nah, look, bro. Whatever they doing, that's cool. Look, again, I'm JTech. Right? I'm JTech. You're you, right? I'm not gonna cap for PlayStation to follow Microsoft's lead.
No, that's something they should have already. All the fucking games running.
Again, bro, I don't know what that means. I don't know if it means for third-party developers are not on board with backwards. I don't know if that means first-party. I can guarantee you that I believe the majority of the few first-party exclusives are going to be backwards compatibility if they're not already taken out of commission. Like a Drive Club, which was shut down. It's shutting down at the end of this month, right? It's being discontinued at the end of this month. Or any other game that might be discontinued, right? Then we got to understand what type of backwards compatibility they're really looking after. Is it going to be equal for digital and physical, or is digital going to take priority over physical backwards compatibility? That's what we got to look for. Microsoft has already confirmed not every game. So you can't say they said every single game because they said not every game. They did this generation. Remember they said every game? But then people found out not every game is supported. And we're talking about Xbox. We're talking about 360. So you can't say that they just said every game because you know they didn't. If you want to find somewhere where they said every game, I'm open. You can send that link to me. I can put it on screen.
Well, Microsoft backwards compatibility?
Yes, the Xbox Series X.
They said when they first announced.
You can give me the link, man, and we can put it on the screen. But I'm pretty sure they never said every game. Again, they didn't do every game this generation.
No, Xbox didn't do every game. You're talking about Xbox, right?
Yeah, we're talking about Xbox.
They stopped supporting the OG shit a while ago, too.
That's what I'm saying. Like, look.
No, I could have swore they said all the
No,
games.
they did not, bro.
Nah, you can check it out, bro.
If they was supporting every game for the next generation of Xbox, right? They would have did it this gen. They stopped doing backwards compatibility listings last year. There's a ton of Xbox One games that they did not upgrade for backwards compatibility.
It's just impossible to do all the games, man, because some of those devs companies aren't around anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, look, I know that they got backwards compatibility. I know they're doing Generation 1 Xbox 360, Xbox One, but I still want to know, like, where's the statement where they said they're doing every game? They never said that statement. I looked at that shit. I don't bitch at them about it. Because it's impossible.
Are people mad about this conference? Because I feel like people just want to be mad at anything these guys do at this point. I feel like people went into this conference where they want to be mad. I feel like people want PlayStation to just be as good as Xbox to find a reason to stay. Me personally, I will be here. I will stay with PlayStation. I will be playing their games. If anybody feels the reason they want to leave, whether it's power or any other specs that you weren't happy with, I'm not the president of PlayStation, but, you can leave. Nobody's going to try to hold you back from capping for PlayStation because they didn't win a power narrative or whatever. We're gamers. We're not technicians. Most of us, I don't believe, are like PC elitists. But we know what the first-party developers can do with this power. Now, third-party developers, that's going to be completely different. We don't know what they're going to be able to do with this power. But from 1 teraflop to 10 teraflops, or whatever the Xbox One had compared to the now 12, they should be producing amazing games. First and third party. That's what I want to see. I don't care about a couple generations behind, because if those devs are not ready to make those games remakeable, like remakes, then I don't know if I could suffer through those visuals. We're going into the next generation to see what the future brings. We're not going into the next generation to play old games. I mean, that's what I thought. If it's the previous generation, I can understand having backwards compatibility. But if it's... There's no way that's just going to be 400, Umar.
No, it's no way it's going to be 400, and I don't expect it... we got the specs on screen, by the way, guys. I don't expect it to be 400, and I don't expect it to be more expensive than Xbox. Because I remember Xbox fans were putting out 2 rumors, 9 teraflops and $600. They were floating out both of those things. Both of them they were wrong on. If it's anything, and if anybody thinks Microsoft's going to take some huge loss on all of this technology that's supposed to be $600 and then sell it for $500, and you're claiming on paper that they're more powerful, and more power means more money, because if Sony had 1 teraflop more, you guys would have said, hey, it's a $600 system. So why can't I say it's a $600 system, since you guys are saying...
I want my life. I want that hour back.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie. I'm glad we got the specs and everything. But, look, specs are not fucking exciting, bro. And I don't know how Xbox fans... Wait up. What are you laughing at? Are specs exciting? Because I thought Ori was more excited than getting on the internet and talk about
the conference. I'm not gonna lie.
Because, I was excited about playing Neo today.
Like he said, it was going to be a deep dive. Why wouldn't you be expecting some technical breakdowns?
Exactly.
That's what I assumed was going to happen. So
people are going into this shit talking about, hey, he was talking about games.
Stupid.
Never said anything about games, bro. He said deep dives into specs. That shit was good.
I told you.
Okay, so since we know the specs, and now, they said they wanted Sony to put an end to rumors, and they did. So I want to know now what.
Now we play Doom. That's coming out at the end of the week. Now we get ready for Final Fantasy VII that comes out in the beginning of April. Okay, then we get ready for The Last of Us. Then we get ready for Ghost of Tsushima. We continue being gamers. That's what we do. Now, if you're an Xbox fan, after you play Doom and other multi-platform games, if you don't have any first-party exclusives to cap for, or first-party exclusives to support and actually play, then yeah, you're going to probably keep talking about specs long into November. But if you're a real fucking gamer, you have games out there to play. I thought we were gamers, but maybe we're not. Maybe some people are just fanboys. I mean, it depends. I mean, what are you going to be? I'm glad we got the specs. I'm glad it's not 9. Not because I give a fuck about power. Just so I can point out that certain people that listen to a rumor were wrong. And it's all right to be wrong. But I'm looking at that shit on paper comparable to the PS4. That's a lot of fucking power that devs are going to be having.
Yep.
That's a lot.
Yeah, definitely some cool ass shit in there for developers to fucking. Yeah.
I mean, look,
especially like the SSD
I don't
shit.
know if I heard that they were going to support external, but I do have an 8 terabyte external with all my games.
They did say that you're going to be able to support external, but the thing of it is, just like Xbox. Well,
see, I'm good. That's what I'm saying. People like, hey, bro, 8 gigabytes is not enough. Well, I got fucking 8 terabytes, bro. It's enough. And I won't even use nothing on that fucking.
Why wouldn't that support previous USB?
I just realized something. The PS4, the PS5, the Xbox Series GPU numbers, like teraflop wise, is the same as the Pro and X.
Now, the backwards compatibility thing, for people that give a shit about it, that's a slap in the face, fucking from Sony right there.
Why is it a slap in the face?
Because they're going to be limited to launch titles and shit.
I'm confused. What are you talking about?
Did you not listen to what he said?
Yeah, I listened to what he said. What did he say?
He said, like, fucking, like, right now, like, you're testing out, like, you looked at all, like, what is, like, the top games right now, playtime-wise, and, like, they're trying to get those games to run on the PS5.
And what games are those?
Yeah, I read an article. They said 100 games are going to be available. I guess those were 100 top-played games on PS4.
That's fine and dandy and all that, but the people that do care about it.
Again, look, this is what I'm saying, man. I understand how Xbox fans are, and I love that, right? That's cool. If you guys need to play older games to validate your purchase, I'm not taking that away from you. That's a good thing to do, to go back and play classic games. But, again, we're buying new hardware to play new games. Now, if you're not going to buy the new hardware to play new games, I can't argue with you. If you want to play classic games on new hardware, that's cool. There's no point for me to argue. But I did believe we were going out to spend money on new hardware so we could play the games that are taking advantage of the new hardware. Not the other.
Oh, don't get me wrong. I'm not making a big deal out of that. I'm just saying, like, it does suck for people that care about backwards compatibility. And believe it or not, regardless of what people may say, there's a lot of people out there that actually do give a fuck about PC.
I'm pretty sure the majority of my games on my external hard drive will be playable with backwards compatibility.
Eventually, they either will or eventually
and
they will.
I'm not talking about eventually. I'm talking about
whatever, but
I'm talking about
that still is.
I'm expecting to still be able
to
play Neo 2, Ratchet and Clank, Days Gone, Bloodborne, God of War. They understand what the big hits are, and I'm pretty sure they're going to be playable day one. Again,
no doubt. But at the same time, it's also going to be like fucking. It's like, hey, you know what? The ones that don't get enough playtime, fuck those games. We'll add those at a later date.
Okay.
Well, no, I'm just saying. I'm looking at it from the aspect of it being a fucking
for everybody.
Like, it's a win for Microsoft right there. That's all I'm going to say. That's a win for Microsoft, man.
Yeah, but see, they never said every game.
They said every game. All the way down to OG Xbox. All the way down to OG Xbox.
Listen to this. When y'all keep saying that shit, you actually gonna believe everything the Microsoft says, right? I don't want you to come back later. Hold on. I don't want you to come back later and say that you were wrong. When some third-party developers say they don't want to support or work hard on a backwards compatibility version of a game. And I think
you don't even have to. You just pop the game in and the fucking system already does it for you. They already said that's exactly how it's going to be.
So every game is available? Because we talked about
this.
What's the name?
Yes, they said every game that you own from OG Xbox to fucking 360 to the Xbox.
Okay, well, look, all I'm telling you, find me a link. Because the last guy that just said it, Spartan God, he could not find me the link. And he stopped arguing. So all I want is a link from you. Where they said every game. Because remember, didn't they say that about this generation? And then they stopped the program for backwards compatibility for Xbox Classic games?
So they moved it over to next gen, yes.
We're not talking about moving it. We're talking about they stopped it. They said that they were going to support... Hold on. They said they were going to support every game, right? Didn't they say that this gen? Okay, so why did they stop the program?
Actually, no, they didn't say that this gen, no.
They made multiple statements to fans in the comments section that kept begging for certain games for backwards compatibility, and Phil Spencer was in the comments section assuring people that those games would be backwards compatibility.
Jamar, stop timing people out, dude.
Yeah, Omar. Look, Omar.
No, not him.
You gotta have to get your privileges taken, bro. Just let them talk.
No, not him. I'm talking about Jamar, dude. It's not Umar.
Oh, Jamar. Come on, buddy. You gotta. Look. We gotta have to take your privileges for at least a little bit. I don't care if you're mad. We gotta have these people talk. Okay? We gotta have these people talk. You get that shit back at the end, man. We gotta have these people talk. I know they seem bad and all, but let them talk.
I was gonna bring
Fatal,
up the fact.
If you could find that link for me, I'll put it up on the screen. I'll transfer it over to the PS4.
Both systems are gonna carry over the streaming services anyway. So what the fuck? What does it matter with this backwards compatibility?
Look, me personally, I'm ready for next gen.
That's the underlining right there. That's the underlining right there.
You'll have PS Now Game Pass. That's going to carry over. So get on that. Game share that if you want to pay for it.
Look, I'm pretty sure he can't go on stage and say every game's going to be available because he doesn't know how every game developer is going to be. I'm dead ass serious. I mean, I even said that they might be reworking Horizon Zero Dawn to work better with this system so they could show it off. But that's what you're asking a developer to rework some of these games for this new hardware. And that might be a little bit different when the devs are supposed to be making new hardware for this hardware, not reworking old hardware.
Okay, so I stand corrected. It says here, fucking our commitment for to compatibility means fucking existing Xbox One games, including backwards compatible fucking 360 and original Xbox games, look and play better than ever before. So essentially the ones that are already out there right now on the Xbox One, outside of Xbox One titles, but like I'm talking about like fucking 360, whatever you want to call it.
Okay.
The ones that are currently on the service right now, or not the service, but on the store right now that you can either insert or you can buy outright, those are also to carry over for next gen.
Okay.
So I stand corrected.
I knew I was right. I just wanted you to prove that I was right. This is JTech TV. No, hold on. This is JTech TV. I'm not going to tell you anything wrong if I don't know. I didn't see them say that. You guys said it. Now, Spartan God was proven wrong and you were proven wrong. That's all right. But you got to understand how big of a task that is. Sam pointed that shit out. Every game in every generation's library, you know how difficult that is? Some people don't even have the rights. Some of the studios are not even up anymore. Every game, though. Is that realistic? Is that important? For Microsoft to go back and find some of these fucking scattered developers and say, hey, come back and form this group so you can put this game on there for like, maybe like 50 people, maybe like 10 people that want to play this game. Let's say it's a single player game and not everybody wants to play it. Is it really worth bringing that game back? Is it really worth reworking that game? Again, some developers that are still active and still in these studios that haven't went under yet, they are looking towards the future. I don't want to hinder their progress. But if the other side on Xbox, you feel that it's better to hinder their progress to work on older games, I'm not going to take that away from you. You might have a lot of fun playing older games. I'm not going to tell you that's a bad thing. But
there's only one game that I want to see come back.
I don't want Sony to follow Microsoft because fans want other fans to have Sony follow Microsoft. They're doing their own separate thing.
The power difference between the two is very, very small. And I mean very, very small.
Again.
So we were all right about that.
Yeah, but we were all right about that. This is what I want to tell you about power difference. We saw not a lot of games that show off the power of the X. Xbox One X, right? Let me be specific. That's what matters next gen. What first-party studios on both sides of the aisle, PlayStation and Xbox, can bring out that power? What games can they produce to bring out that power, to showcase that power? Now that we got the specs, what we're going to look at is the games that can come out. What devs are we going to have? Now, most of all our devs are on a AAA level of bringing realistic games out. Media Molecule, they do whatever the fuck they want, but they still have great games within that engine. And we could go over there real quick. There were some new levels posted. I can show
Man, I'm scared to go on Twitter now.
Oh, I mean, don't be scared, bro. I already blocked a shitload of people for 2 different reasons this year, so I'm actually.
I take it that you got a lot of fucking retweets during that presentation, dude.
Who, me?
Yeah.
Oh, but I never said it was gonna be 13, so nobody can do any of that.
Like, yeah, nobody can say shit about that.
Yeah. You saw my titles. You saw my titles for the podcast over the last 3 months.
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
I never said anything about teraflops, so I don't care.
But see, at the end of the day, you're right, though, man. Like, it don't really matter at the end of the day.
Exactly, it matters what the devs can do with the power, and
exactly, yeah.
I think the devs compared to, like I said, I don't know what the Xbox One teraflops were, the original one, but whatever it was compared to the 1.8 that the PS4 had, now the PS4,
the PS4 did some magical shit.
Huh?
So the PS4 did some magical shit.
I know, and that's what I'm like. You're gonna give Naughty Dog and fucking Sony Santa Monica 10 teraflops and some other fucking fancy shit to work with. That's amazing. Again, I just wanted to show off Dreams real quick because we're gonna see if we can find some realistic games and some not realistic games to show you guys how power really works, and that if we got all that power, we want a dev that's gonna make that shit look good. We will start with Regina from Dino Crisis. Very realistic character model, as you can see, created in Dreams. Lot of shit.
Oh god! So now the memes starting to come out on the Xbox side, dude.
And I'm happy, bro.
Fucking Christ, dude.
All I'm gonna say, I took screenshots yesterday when everybody.
Stupid.
Yeah, I took screenshots of everybody that said it was gonna be 9 teraflops. So I hope that they're not.
Oh, that reminds me, I have to.
Yeah.
I gotta test something out here.
This is Regina from Dino Crisis, created in Dreams. Very realistic. The lighting is up there. You guys know how this shit works. If you got a lot of power, you're gonna want to show that shit off. Xbox. I know they got a lot of that Game Pass fodder, no disrespect to Fatal, but we're hoping that some of the developers take advantage of the power, right? So, we saw Regina, we got some other realistic shit, but let's go into Dexter's Laboratory, right? Dexter's Laboratory is a cartoon from back in the day for Cartoon Network, right?
Yo, okay, somebody needs to break that down to me, what that whole entire fucking Game Pass fodder fucking bullshit actually means.
Basically, games that are not taking advantage of the power that they got over the last 2 years. So Xbox.
Oh, so you mean even before Game Pass came out, fucking they already had that shit?
I don't know. I'm just saying, Game Pass fodder to me means different than everybody else. It means games that are not taking advantage of the power that they were bragging about for the last 2 years with the Xbox One X. So there's a lot of games that are only on Game Pass or promoted for Game Pass, but they're not promoted for the system that they just.
But you know what's funny though? Right? Because like people say that shit, right? But yet every game that's been on Xbox that has come out for that service has been in development before that service ever even fucking existed. Crackdown 3, Sea of Thieves, fucking State of Decay were all in development before that service even saw the light of fucking day. So again, that makes no sense to me to label fodder. Yeah, that's fine. But as far as like using that terminology to describe fucking Game Pass, that is a fucking joke. Like a straight up joke when these games have been developed.
Well, it also means
before Game Pass ever existed.
Games that's gonna sell you on that subscription service, but again, not sell you on the hardware itself. So let's say, yes, these games are in development, but these games were not made to boost any power for the current Xbox hardware or the hardware that existed by the time the games were ready. You see what I'm saying? So these games never were made to take advantage of either portion of the hardware, the old hardware or the mid-gen refresh hardware. And there are few games that were created that actually take advantage of that hardware. Forza, Gears, take advantage of that hardware very well. Tons of AAA multiplats take advantage of the Xbox One X hardware very well. But not a lot of the games coming from Microsoft Game Studios that are put on a store, advertised by that streaming service. By that service, so people can buy into it. You know what I'm saying? I don't care if people pay $60 or not. The games are not taking advantage of the hardware that they're trying to sell you on. How do you sell people on powerful hardware when you're not showing off powerful games? So again, the next one, again, very simple. I'm gonna break this down for everybody.
Couldn't we say the same thing about the Pro 2 as well, though?
Okay, what games?
Well, I mean, what games is fucking technically utilizing the Pro outside from HDR shit? I mean, fucking Horizon runs extremely well on vanilla, and so does God of War and Last of Us.
Takes advantage of it.
Dreams does?
Yes, they did a digital foundry analysis. It runs better on the Pro. You can run better.
We've got a lot of optimized games on the Pro, man.
Okay, yeah, but we've also seen that too as well for games that run better on the X. But I'm just confused. Like, I'm not. I don't personally care. I'm trying to figure out, like, people are using these. I look at them as nothing more as cop out / excuses. Is more than likely basically what I'm looking at, because.
Well, that would be on Microsoft's part. They're not, again, they made new hardware, and how do you sell that new hardware that you're claiming is the most powerful hardware? This will be the same thing I say. For this current hardware that they're about to start.
No, I agree with you on that. I agree with you on that, Jay. Now, Microsoft never coined that.
Powerful console, right?
That's what I'm saying right there. What you just said is the reason why people are using that as an excuse. If Microsoft would have never came out and said that the Xbox One X was the world's most powerful console on the market, nobody would fucking say.
What do you think they're going to say after today? They're going to change their slogan.
No. I'm not talking about today. I'm not talking about today. I'm talking about when that console originally launched, right? Back when it was known as the Scorpio and shit like that, right? All that crazy shit. If Microsoft never coined that catchphrase, right, about being the world's most powerful console, no one would be fucking using that fucking bullshit excuse. No one would. Although I do agree, I'm not saying fucking that you're wrong. Hell no, because there's not many games outside from a few third-party games that utilize that system. That's about it.
That's the thing. If you look, you can have third-party games sell that system, right? But I don't think that's likely if third-party developers won't take advantage of all that power and the games end up looking exactly the same.
Well, that's what I'm saying, and it's like the same thing with vanilla and the Pro. It's like, well, God of War ran fucking buttery smooth. Horizon ran buttery smooth. I don't have a Pro, and I think both, honestly, fucking are a waste of time unless you are in the whole 4K HDR shit. You know what I mean? Like, that's the way I've always looked at it. I mean, I personally think that both the Pro and the Series and the Xbox X are fucking in my helmet. But that's me, though. That's me, because I don't give a fuck about the whole 4K crap and other bullshit that they were trying to push this fucking generation, man. But I do agree, though. I do agree that I wish that Microsoft did have a compelling title that actually looked on point to something that would utilize and take advantage of that hardware.
They don't. I'll admit one thing. Both of those things you're talking about, dude, the X was a lot better.
Yeah, you confirmed already that your games that are going to take advantage of that hardware will not be ready for the first 2 years. Again, I'm going to use that terminology.
That's why I can't wait to see what Hellblade. I think Hellblade 2 is going to take advantage of it.
And I don't care who it fucking offends. The facts are the facts. You came out and said, we will not have any games made for this hardware for the first 2 years. So, if you come out and you say the world's most powerful console, at the end of the day, what does it mean for the game?
Well, that's a coin that's on the fucking.
What? No, Xbox. I mean, but what does it mean at the end of the day? If you don't have any games from your studios that are going to take advantage of it, what does it mean? It doesn't mean anything because at the end of the day, what are you selling? You're selling Game Pass, right? I just saw them say, get Game Pass for $1 with Xbox Live Gold and play Ori, the new one. They're not telling you, hey, go buy Ori. Ori is out right now. Go support this game. They're saying, no, you don't have to do that. Just get Game Pass. You'll be able to play it. Again, they're welcoming this name that you don't like. And it's factual. I know it doesn't make you feel comfortable that I use the name, but if they're going to tell you, don't support the game the way you normally do, just buy the subscription service, this game is really not taking advantage of the new hardware that you got 2 years ago, but we still just want you to buy the subscription service. Game Pass fodder. It doesn't mean the games are bad. It just means that that's what they are. They're made to create a demand to keep using the game, the service. If they're not games on that service,
that's true, and that's true.
Let me put it this way, Fatal. All the games you played, what if they weren't on that service? What if all they were able to contract were indie games that came from Steam? If those were the only games that were on that service, would you still pay for that service? No.
Well, fuck yeah, of course I would. Of course I would.
But what if all the games that you do enjoy were not on there? And I'm talking about Ori. I'm talking about Gears.
If Ori in the Will of the Wisp was not on there, I would find a way to get it.
Exactly, but you wouldn't feel the same way you feel about it.
What are you talking about? Yes, I would.
So you would feel the same way, even though the games that you've been using Game Pass for were not on there. You would just love it out of loving it.
When I bought State of Decay, 2 Ultimate Edition, right, the day that it dropped, even if it was a day-and-date game on Game Pass, I still bought that motherfucker. And I still enjoy that game for every fucking penny that I spent on that motherfucker.
Shit, I'm getting
Game Pass has nothing to do with that. Game Pass to me, this was something I was going to try. I forgot to explain this yesterday. I can't argue with you
because for Game Pass, it seems like you're a blind follower. No matter what,
follower.
No. You're gonna love it no matter what. You just told me the games that you liked, that you used Game Pass to play. If they weren't there, you're still gonna support Game Pass. So what games are on Game Pass that you don't like and that you would still support the service for?
What do you mean don't like?
That's what I'm saying. You use Game Pass for the games that you like, right? You don't have to pay additional money. You pay for the subscription and you have access to the games that you do like.
You really want to know the reason why I use Game Pass now more than anything? You really want to know why?
Yeah,
it has nothing to do with like the quality of games that are going on there with developers putting games up there. Is due to the fact that the current situation that I'm currently in right now, that I don't have the luxury to really buy anything. And again, I don't even have any money to fucking buy games on PlayStation.
You told me that before, and I have a great memory, and I already know that. That's the same reason why some people might get PlayStation Now, or people wait for PlayStation Plus games, or people wait for Xbox Live Gold games. They want to save money. They're not in a good situation, and I understand that. But that's no reason to make excuses for the service being marketed to people that might have money to save money that they know.
Oh no, I know. I agree with you on that. Oh no, I've never sat there and denied that. I always tell people all the time, fucking no matter what game I'm playing, if it's through the service or if it's a game that I actually get my hands on, fucking digitally wise that I own, to go out and actually buy it. I don't tell them. I've never once fucking told people.
I understand your situation. I respect you and all for being honest. But a lot of those guys will never go back to the way things.
Oh, I know they won't. Yeah. Oh, I know they won't. But I'm not like those guys.
Things are different now, and you've gotten spoiled. You got a taste of not having to spend this additional money. And I'm not gonna lie, Game Pass is gonna be very useful in the upcoming months. Seeing as though that money's gonna be tight for a lot of individuals. So yeah, I know how that shit's gonna be. Yeah. So guys,
but I'm not like those other Xbox gamers out there that sit there like culties where they go around and sit there and say, "Hey, yeah, fucking, I don't have to worry about ever buying another game again." What the fuck? No.
Yeah, that's fucked up.
Hell no.
Right there, that's fucked up to developers to hear. That's fucked up to hear.
Yeah. Because I use it as I'm using it the exact same fucking way that I used to use it back when I was a child, fucking in the sense of renting video. There was a game that I rented that I fucking truly loved. I went and bought it.
Hollywood Videos had the same type of situation. You could rent games and shit like that. Like there was a GameStop right next to Hollywood Videos. You know, but you could think of Dreams as Game Pass. But that's what I'm saying, guys. I'm buying this new hardware for games that's gonna take advantage of the hardware.
Oh yeah, no, I'm
not buying this new hardware because of the specs that are on paper. I can guarantee you, nobody can tell me the specs of the PS2, Dreamcast, original Xbox. Nobody could tell you that, but they could show you. That's all I'm saying.
Right.
Seeing is believing. If you're a real gamer, you're going to play those games. You're going to buy that system that you know is going to give you the games that you want to play.
And remember what the crazy thing too as well, right? Like back in like last generation on the 360 and PS3, like that was before a teraflop existed on the console side. I think it was like 512 megabytes or some shit that the GPU had. And look at the amount of great games that we had and shit that we saw last generation compared to this gen. It's like night and fucking day, dude. Night and fucking day.
That shit is crazy,
especially
bro.
when you look at
Chris Redfield on Dreams. Leon Kennedy. I said the wrong name. With Gunna animations, very, very good. But yeah, Dreams is like Game Pass. Let me put it that way. Dreams is kind of like Game Pass. Yeah, that sucks that Black Widow got
PS Now. I
delayed.
look at PS Now as being that too as well from a download section, dude. From a download purposes.
Oh shit! Somebody made Oh my god, they made a pretty convincing Wonder Woman in Dreams. Wow. A sin. Oh, she can fucking hover.
Boca. Sam.
Yo.
Really?
What happened?
I'm reading the conversation between you and IDOT in the chat.
People trolling, bro. Nah, he doesn't own anything. It's not about him being broke. Because people that are broke game. I just know for a fact he doesn't game or own anything.
Yeah, dude. No, yeah. Like I'll find a way. Like if it's a game, like, especially on PlayStation that I desperately want, and like, because there's no Game Pass on there outside from PS Now, but day and date games don't go up on that motherfucker, dude. So you know what I mean? Like I find ways to get my shit, dude. I'm not worried about it.
Dude, game share, man. Game sharing saves you a lot of money. I game share my
me and Sam do it too, bro. I'm not buying every game, but I did buy the games I give a fuck about. I'm going to support those devs.
Oh no, and believe me, like I said, like I've already bought a few games so far, fucking Pass, fucking because of that fucking. I like game shit like that.
They really did their thing with this fucking this damn game.
Series X is better, but not by only by a small, tiny margin, man.
They're over here trying to
don't sit up there and say no offense there, Alpha. No offense, no disrespect to you, dude. But like when you look at the specs, like from the number wise, dude, like they're not that very much of a difference at all.
See, Fatal, the people that you're talking to right now, these are fucking idiot children. They don't care about facts. They don't care what you say to them. They're just gonna come in here and troll.
I'm just trying to
all I'm gonna say, I don't care about those guys. I care about the flip-floppers that I caught this gen that was in 2015 and 2016. I want to see if you guys. I want to see if those guys are gonna go back. If those guys go back, they prove my point that they weren't here for PlayStation. They were here for popularity.
What's the huge difference between the two?
Huh?
What's the huge difference between the two? Like I'm looking at the specs right now for both of them, and outside from like
the
what the Xbox
on
have,
paper
2 teraflops
is
difference.
Like 1 point something more teraflops.
It's not 9.2.
Talk to them.
It's not 9.2.
No, it could drop. They saying because he said it's variable.
Hold on. Eddie, don't explain anything. Don't worry about it. Who said it's 9.2?
Nobody.
Alpha's saying that in the chat right now.
Come on, the chat. Yeah.
Wait up. How do you zoom in on a PS4? What's that? Does anybody know that zoom in button?
The button and square. You gotta have it on. The PS button and square. Pressing at the same time.
Okay. The PS button and square. Okay, got you. You sure it's square?
Yeah, but you gotta have it set to on. So if it doesn't work, you gotta check your settings to make sure it's on.
I did it. Yeah, every time I do it, it makes me zoom the fuck out. Okay, now
fake RDNA.
No, I got it.
Bro, we started with this shit, bro.
Hold on. I zoomed in right there. Do you guys see right there? It says PS5 and it says 10.28. Okay, who is saying if you're saying 9.2, I'm about to kick you out. So again, you're telling false information and the real information is out. You can no longer.
iPads look nice. Ooh, I might have to update my iPad. Oh shit.
Okay. Besides that, what's his name? Meta Alpha. So Meta Alpha, are you confirming that it's 9 teraflops? Is that what the paper says right there? Are you confirming that? I'm looking at the comment section, so I'm gonna wait. Are you confirming that it's 9 teraflops? Because it's on screen right now.
They had to overclock it.
I don't like the CPU difference though, Uncle.
Okay, are you so you're not confirming that it's 9 teraflops on paper?
Oh, me?
It drops lower than 9 teraflops. That's what you're saying. You're saying it's 9 and it drops lower than 9.
Who are you speaking to, J-Tech?
This guy, Meta Alpha. I'm gonna see if he can answer me. I'm gonna give them a couple more replies before I block them.
They said they had to overclock it. They didn't have to. Like that's the top speed they had. Like
that's the top. Exactly, bro. That's what's on paper. If it drops below that, it drops. You gotta act like Xbox shit ain't gonna drop either.
Actually, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. The Xbox One X is not 6 teraflops. My nigga, it's literally 5.76, and the bandwidth is not 326. It's 286.
Okay, buddy, you gotta go. You gotta go because you're not acknowledging what's on screen. You tried to give out false information. The real information is out right now. You can't really give out false information when we have real information. I gave you enough chances to be honest.
Stupidity.
No, JTech, don't even. They're not paying attention. He said variable frequency. It's still 10.28. What he said is that the CPU and GPU will not always run at their clock speed, meaning the 2.23 gigahertz of the GPU will not always be 2.23. It could drop. That will drop, not the 10 teraflops one. And the CPU will not always run at 3 gigahertz if it doesn't have to.
8.67. 8.67. Here's the CPU. I don't know why you wanted to see it, but here it is. I had this on screen for roughly 30 minutes earlier, so I'm not sure if you missed the whole specs, but I'm not shying away from it because I'm a gamer.
He's saying basically to show it because there's a difference because the Xbox One X has 3.8 and 3.6 modes, and that's higher than that.
Jaytek, you've debated this guy like 19 times. You know he's a fucking idiot.
That's not a difference when it comes to 3D.
He doesn't care about
that because you got to remind me. I know he had a lot of accounts, obviously.
Dude, you've debated like he's just a moron who's trying to get you mad. He doesn't care about the facts. He doesn't even know about half this shit anyway.
Oh, okay. Well, he can get blocked.
All right.
Don't save him.
All that time
don't
wasted.
Don't save him.
Okay.
He's getting blocked. Nobody has to save him. You make another account, that gets blocked too. Meta Alpha. One more chance. Are you saying the number here is false and it's not actually 10.2? Because that's all I want to know.
But he never. But I don't know where to get in that from. That number's gonna drop. No, the term.
Dude, they're not trying to be factual. They're just trying to make him mad.
No, I'm not mad. You can hear it in my voice. I just want to see.
That's what they're doing.
Yeah,
I
just want to see if they're going to confirm that what the number is on screen, because the number on screen is what we got. We didn't get 9. Everybody wanted it to be 9, but it wasn't 9. And I'm glad you're here. I'm not upset. I'm glad an individual like you is here because that proves that Xbox fans was ready to brag about having 3 teraflops higher.
Mm-hmm.
But you guys aren't. Okay, you done, buddy?
So do I?
Okay, Alpha, you don't want to get blocked, but you're getting blocked, bro. You're not replying, but you're getting blocked. Bye-bye. Okay, I'm gonna go. What time is it? It's 1:30.
He said he's not saying it's false. Wait. He said he's not saying it's false. That's what he said.
Oh, he came back later. I
all right,
didn't say
unblock him.
Stay at that. It doesn't stay at that. Hold on, let me see.
But he said variable frequency. The teraflops is not the frequency. The clock speed is. So it's always going to be 10. It's just that the 2.23 gigahertz will not stay the same.
Look, guys, I can keep going back to the specs, but as you can see, I have games to play. Like, I was wondering, like, we got the number, and it wasn't 9, and I'm cool with that. I'm cool that it's higher than 9. But do you guys want to see numbers, or do you want to see somebody play a game? Like, what are you guys here for? We got the numbers. I still don't understand it because I'm not 100% into those spec shit.
What you want to know?
Yeah, that's what you can talk to what's the name? I'm gonna keep up with Dreams real quick because this shit is impressive.
Hey, memory bandwidth is 448 gig. That's actually really good because that's a balance with SSD. I'm gonna be honest with you. That bandwidth makes sense.
The shit that they gotta do with that though is gonna be crazy. That's all I'm gonna say.
That makes sense because
they about to make some
GPU. Because he said the frequency would change, but the bandwidth won't. That means they're able to use more bandwidth, but the workload and won't draw as much heat. Meaning that the resolution will remain higher all the time.
Man, trust me, Mark Cerny. I trust that motherfucker. I know he figures some shit out to do what he needs to do. I think the only thing we could start discussing or debating or arguing about would probably be the price. You believe Microsoft will cut the cost and keep it at $5?
Yeah, I believe so.
What do you think Sony's gonna do? They're gonna automatically go for $5?
No, I think that they might go for because they said the cost is for $450. I think they will go for actually $450, like a weird number, because the teraflops is not the only thing that's the difference, but Microsoft die size for the Series X is smaller than the Xbox One X, so I think they will go for 500, and I think Sony really has to pick a price now. Yeah, because they know that 10 is not that far from 12.
People need to understand. The reason why I'm showing off Dreams is because it's very important. There are creations that might look like shit, and then there's creations that blow your mind. That's what I'm expecting from the PS5. I'm expecting games that are going to blow my mind. I don't expect a lot of fucking kiddie games or games that we can shit on or anything like that. I expect that they're going to bring their A game. With that power that they have, even third-party developers that don't like to bring their A game can bring their A game. And that's what I'm excited about. The games.
No, I think Cyberpunk is going to actually look nice.
Cyberpunk needs that power.
Yeah, I think
Do you see this stuff?
Do
you see this right here? This is from Dreams, bro. Somebody made this. This is what I'm talking about. I can't wait to see shit like this that blows my mind from what I think is possible.
Yo, Meta Alpha, why you not responding back? You got unblocked. Respond. Now the price. Now I see why Sony was waiting for price. Because that console actually is not that expensive at all. When you think of the SSD. The fact that you can switch it. Yeah,
since Microsoft showed their hand.
They're playing it smart for sure, Spartan. They're playing it smart for sure.
Yeah. I think since Microsoft showed their hand a lot, I think that they're going to probably go first on price, and Sony's going to shock them again. Because I think, what Cerny said, he said he wanted to get the spec shit out the way, and he did. The next thing that he does is definitely going to be games. That's what he said.
Yeah. I want to know when they're going to do that, though. Because Microsoft's supposed to have an event today, literally in 3.
Yeah, but I'm not expecting to see anything from that, though, Spartan, man. I know exactly
they said the actual Xbox they're going to be showing, so I think they might show more of their shit.
Man, there's somebody made Batgirl on Dreams.
Yeah. A lot of Marvel and shit. They go, excuse me, y'all. I gotta get ready. I'm about to go to work.
Damn, so bro. Hey, Sam, come look at this shit, bro. This is what I'm talking about. I want to see amazing shit with the PS5. There are things on Dreams that people think is not possible, and people are making it possible. That's what I'm excited about with the PS5. It's enough power to wow all of us.
Did you just ask us to go to a Next Gen 720 podcast where the guy's practically illiterate and go to him for an explanation on how RDNA 2 works properly? Did you just fucking say that, dude?
Who said that? Who was the point that guy?
Your new BFF with the IQ of a walnut in the chat from Meta Alpha.
Oh, well, he just gets blocked again, bro. Don't disrespect me like that. Nah, you're not getting unblocked. You only got one fucking chance to get unblocked, and that was your last chance. You can go wherever the fuck you want to go. Again, if you're thinking you're going to come to JTech's channel, my channel, and I'm going to look at these specs, and I'm like, oh, man. Oh, I'm so mad. I don't want to play games. I'm so mad I don't want to play Dreams. Or I don't want to play Neo. No, bro, that's not happening, man. That's not happening. I just saw some amazing shit on Dreams, though, so I gotta go get that Barbara Gordon. That shit is dope. But somebody made Batgirl out of Barbara Gordon. How do you do that? Doesn't look that bad.
But when do you think they're gonna give us the price reveal, the final, I guess, presentation?
As soon as Microsoft does to release. Yeah, as soon as Microsoft goes.
So this is what people are waiting for, this particular press conference, man? It just baffles me.
I mean, look, once they said specs, I something in my brain was like, okay, yeah, we're not going to see what we think we're going to see as far as games. I was hoping that there could have been a game tech demo, But I think that whatever the tech demo for the game will be, and it will be a game that actually comes out, not one just made for the tech demo, I think it's going to be impressive. You know, I think it's going to be really impressive. I think it's definitely going to be a newer game. Damn, bro. They got a fucking Transformers in the shit.
Hold on. Whoa. What is this now? What did Trudeau fucking announce here for Canada? Hold on. I'm sorry. I know this is off topic, but I want to read this.
Sam, are you looking at this fucking Optimus Prime on Dreams?
No, I'm trying not to get fired at the moment.
What? Oh, you got work?
Yeah, I'm working remotely.
But you were already working remotely with a remote controller.
I gotta deal with you yammering in my ear.
God
okay.
Damn.
I see your shit.
I want to transform into a fucking truck. It's fucking dope, bro. This game is fucking dope. This game is fucking amazing. Yeah, people talking about specs. I'm yeah, it's nice. We got the number and all. That's cool. But I'm just really happy that people that were wrong, they were wrong. You can't come back from being wrong. You know, I didn't stick with a single number. I just knew it was gonna be higher than fucking 9. There's no way they were gonna go with 9. Bobby Fischer.
Dude, people want to act stupid. They can go right ahead, but at the end of the day, it's about what developers you got. And they're the ones that show us what, you know, you can really do with this technology.
Didn't God of War come out after the Pro had after the Xbox One X had already came out and it was nothing?
Well, you saw the documentary about that. They made that game look that great basically in almost less than 2 years. They were rushed on that shit, dude.
That shit was crazy, bro.
Look how that game turned out, for example.
There's a fucking Half-Life Dawn playable concept on Dreams. I'm going to see what this is about. Guys, I'm going to get ready to go in probably about 15 minutes. But I want to thank everybody that was here. I know we didn't get all the viewers because everybody was live streaming today. Oh, shit. Hey, Sam.
John,
bro, look at this Half-Life, bro. He has him in the suit and everything. He has his own suit and everything, bro. What the fuck?
I'm not so behind. I just see you in that first-person shooter level.
That's Half-Life.
Oh, okay.
What are these? Oh. What the fuck is wrong with them? Oh, you can use a gun on here. This is beautiful. I'm really impressed with what they're doing with Dreams. That's what I'm saying. Oh, the water, by the way. The water looked...
Have a good one, Jamar.
What's going on? Oh, okay, Jamar. I see you. We might go live tomorrow. If we don't go live tomorrow, we go live on Friday.
Wow. That's crazy.
I will not be live on Saturday, guys, because I'm going to spend some time with my mom and shit. So, yeah. City Assets beta test. That looks good.
Well, so that's a huge turn of events for Canada.
What's going on with Canada? Closing the borders?
Really, well, outside from that, no, they just announced the fucking the $85 billion financial aid package for individuals and businesses in response to COVID-19 includes paid sick for all.
Oh, cool. That's good.
Mm-hmm.
But this is like I'm saying. If you want to know how this shit's gonna translate, if you're lucky enough to have Dreams, you might want to test Dreams out because that's how it is. You see how blurry all of this shit is? If you're making a city as big as this, you're gonna have to take a cut on some stuff. I mean, just put 2 and 2 together. You should understand how game development is gonna work. You have a lot more power to work with than you do with the PS1, so you know games are gonna look better. And for the first party studios that already made games that look better than competitors that had more power this gen, that's amazing.
Wow.
You're giving Naughty Dog that much power. You're giving Sony Santa
Monica.
Monica.
Asking you a question, Fade, on the chat.
What happened?
What?
Asking that you think Thrash will do the Roundtable podcast on Friday or night?
Probably Friday, because that jackass forgot his goddamn fucking power supply for his laptop.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, fuck, dude.
Hey, Sam, they made a Me channel on Dreams. It's fucking dope, man. I was away for like a couple weeks, and they just started making everything. I wish I had more time to stay on this fucking game, man. Fuck. It's a lot of upgrades.
GST rebates boosted to help low-income families. Ooh, wow, so that means next month. Wow. All right, there, Trudeau. Thank you for that. I appreciate that.
Are you getting a relief package over there?
Yeah, no, fucking, like, cause, like, you know, for, like, individuals and stuff, man, but the one that fucking that interests me is that, because government sales tax is a big thing over here in Canada, right, for after you, like, file your income taxes and shit like that over here. So every 3 months, fucking, starting from July, fucking, we get, like, a little, like, a GST rebate thing back, and that's going to be boosted, fucking, so anybody that's an adult, fucking gets an additional $300 fucking dollars on top of their fucking what they already make. Like, that's what?
Oof.
That's crazy.
Well, I'll know next month when my shit comes in next month.
Oh shit! Somebody made CS:GO on Dreams.
What the fuck is this under? I want to send this to my mom.
Oh my god, they really did make CS:GO in Dreams. Would you look at that? Gotta love it. Is somebody shooting me? Oh fuck. He was shooting me. Fucking
We'll see.
bitch.
Yeah, okay.
Making some great shit on Dreams. That's the power of Dreams right there. They're making a lot of cities and shit. They're maxing the fuck out of this game though, like tons of fucking shit. Damn, bro. Little Big Planet, The Pod. That's good shit. I did see some commercial images of the PS4 Pro. The PS5 controller. I'm gonna try to get those images to you guys. We might talk about that shit tomorrow and how that works. But I can't wait to see how improved those triggers are. That'll help people like me that might have a little bit of difficulty with what is this? Breath of Fire battle demo. What's Breath of Fire? Breath of Oh shit. Oh, that's how you run.
Oh, that reminds me. I gotta go and see if what Freedom Mobile is going to be doing. Yo, this COVID shit, man, it's been fucking up a lot of shit, man.
Dope. Yeah, the Corona Kairos.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Super Mario Generations. Oh, this should be a fun level. Oh, I like this already. Oh, the fuck? What did he do with his mouth?
Craig asked, RDNA 2?
You said what?
He just said RDNA 2?
My neck? Did that say it?
Close relation?
No, it's not a relation, Sam. That's disrespectful.
Necrophiliac?
Bro, it's so much shit on Dreams now, man. What the fuck? Like, there's so much shit on here now. It's like fucking Batman, The Final Laugh. They got Flappy Bird PS1 edition. Damn, son, you should really check out Dreams, man. They really got a lot of shit on here now. Like, I'm not even joking. They even got Pepsi Man rated R. Wow, so much fucking shit. Well, I definitely gotta get back to Neo tomorrow. I don't want to fucking, like, not want to return back to that fucking game, so... Okay, guys. I'm up out of here. I got work. I'll keep you guys notified if anything changes at my job and I'm here during the times I'm not supposed to be here. But
T-teraflops for life.
Oh, my live stream went off. I don't know what the fuck happened with that shit. Okay.
I still see you on them.
No, my Elgato. Something happened with the Elgato. I'll see you guys later. I don't know what happened with the Elgato, but it went dead.
Yeah, no doubt, Jay. All right, man.